Here we go. The boys go down, off they go, on they go, and we're all sweet. Oh, what a way to start. Anyway, but Daisy's okay. Yep, they're good.
Funnily enough, there would be some players there who have little superstitions thinking that's the last thing they feel like doing is changing their shorts.
Isn't it good that Eddie Betts doesn't play for them anymore? So Jimmy Bartell is the NAB Fantasy Footy powered by Telstra player to watch tonight. I love watching Jimmy Bartell, as I loved watching Matthew Richardson play. And Richo was inducted into the Hall of Fame. This is on Wednesday night with Mike Fitzpatrick, and what a great honour for Matthew. More goals at the MCG, 800, and what a player he was. I mean, we've waxed lyrical about him already tonight, Duck, haven't we? But
yeah, he was a great player. I love watching him play, whether it was against him or on TV on a Sunday afternoon. I mean, he just so exciting. You didn't know what you were going to get sometimes with Richo, which was what was great about him.
And it's great to have him on the boundary tonight, Matty, eh? Congratulations, mate.
Thanks, Bruce. Gee, I had some ordinary haircuts in my day, didn't I? I probably still do now. But, yeah, it was a very humbling experience. I was honoured to get the letter from Mike Fitzpatrick. And when I went into that room the other night and you look around and there's Lee Matthews and Wayne Carey, and I saw Doug Wade and Peter Knights and so many other greats of the game, it was a fantastic experience, and it was great to be inducted with guys from my generation as well. So really overwhelmed by it all.
The cat's head is the actual heads. Yep. Now, your call. Your call.
Taking a while.
Yep. There we go. Yep. AFL. There we go.
They're confused about home and away.
Shorts. Well, they couldn't get the shorts right. No, so Carlton. Hey, Matty, just one last thing. You talked about being overwhelmed. How do you think Dennis and I feel? I mean, we sit with these blokes every Friday night.
Put me in that category, Bruce.
Oh, two-time premiership captain. No, why not? Who you go, Dan? Who are they going for, the boys? These legends, who are they going for tonight?
Well, the commentators' picks. Let's take a look. It's all Cats. They'll bounce back. So the guys, it's a long way to bounce back from, 110 points. But having said that, 23 points Tom, 20 Wayne. Matthew, you can see, and the outrider is our own Lee Matthews with 30. So they're against the odds tonight, and there's a man that during the build-up to the game we were talking about as being a key. Somebody said he's their most important player. I think that was Wayne.
I think the problem, the problem is, I think it's the.
I got out of that quickly, Wayne.
It is the gigantic difference between his best and his worst is the problem. Because at his best, he may well be their most valuable player, but he gets a long way from it very often.
Was there a moment last Saturday night you thought that he wouldn't be playing tonight?
Well, last Saturday night, I think he only had 3 or 4 touches. I mean, he was terrible. But he can be very good, so that's what makes Carlton dangerous, I reckon, when Waite's on and Garlett's on and Yaron's on and players like that. They can have their bad ones, but they can be very good.
In the countdown, you talked about the first 15 minutes. What are you expecting here from both these teams?
Well, it has to be savage, doesn't it? I mean, Geelong have had their pride pricked by that big defeat, and Carlton got beaten by the bottom side. So if they're not both desperate at the contest early on, we'd be really disappointed and surprised.
Umpires tonight, Meredith, Ryan and Jeffrey. Not a great crowd. Two sides coming off bad losses, one by a massive amount, as Bruce said, and the other by an opponent that has struggled all season long. They made a specialty of losing to the bottom team. Rowe and Hawkins. So away we go. Another Friday night odyssey. Good bounce too on the way down. Warnock ricochets off Carrazzo, taken by Gibbs to Murphy. Feeds it wide. Armfield. Run coming off from Doherty for half back to half forward. That's with Menzel.
Just to you, Wayne, and now you talked about Waite, where he might start tonight.
Yeah, well, I thought he might start down back, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's actually started on Walker.
And that's the other Walker, just to confuse matters. So there was a Simpson out and a Walker in tonight. It could have been either team, basically, but it was the Cats' way. But so Waite down back as Geelong, as Doherty punches it forward for Carlton. Chance for Simpson, first score of the match. Gee, his numbers have been impressive. Simpson again this year, the best and fairest of last year. He's racked them up over the last few weeks.
Taylor coming out quickly, intended for Johnson, almost the clever mark. Finds it on the ground. Carranza right in his hip pocket. Coming in strongly was Thomas. Johnson finishes up out of bounds, so does the footy.
Keep an eye on that one. It looks like Carrazzo Wayne has gone to Stevie J.
And Gibbs looks like he's taking Selwood. Guthrie looks like Murphy. So there's 3 actual really one-on-one contests around the middle of the ground.
McIntosh knocked it forward. Guthrie had it knocked away by Murphy, taken by Gibbs. A centering kick, dangerous ball. Henderson could have almost got a free kick. Duncan came strongly. Casbolt, Yaron, back to goal initially, wheels around. How will it bounce? It goes down towards goal, hit the post. The least expected result.
Daisy.
So Carlton doing some good attacking here.
Yeah, they've looked good from the start of the game, haven't they? They've come out using the ball well, having a go.
Well, Gibbs and Murphy were sharp early, weren't they? So Buse got it from Lonigan, and now Kelly down the line. Here's Bartel. Carazzo just try and corral him a bit, but Bartel clever. Gets to Hawkins. Been very Hawkins-centric, the Cats this year. Gets to half forward. Johnson getting forward. Wait, good hands. Carazzo. Pressure on Walker, OK. Armfield and Wait again. So Wait getting some touches early. A bounce. Still no real pressure. Well, that was flamboyant for a centre-half back, but he did it really well. And now Gibbs. And then Gibbs getting on his bike and getting to half forward. Hard, strong lead. So Carlton up and about early. This is a good start for them. So it's Thomas.
Playing some bold football. Thomas looking down the line, sends a high ball in. Robinson will fly, got hands to it, couldn't hang on. Mackey lays it off. Kelly. So astute back there. This is Buse, close to the boundary line. High ball to the wing. Guthrie in best position. Juggles the mark. Did he take it in play? No. Boundary umpire says he juggled it across the boundary line. That was touch and go.
Okay, throw it in.
No hesitation from the boundary umpire, who was only about 15 metres away. Oh.
No, that's a mark.
Certainly a photo finish. Boundary throw in. Warnock. Guthrie, well, ball's fair that ends well. Or whatever the saying may be, down towards Hawkins. Hawkins alongside the centre circles, penetrating kick. Blixarves on the burst. He's quick, closing on him as Wade. Oh, wonderful. Blixarves looks inside. Well, that was his mistake. Should not have hesitated, should not have stopped.
Yeah, the first move was outstanding. The second one not so good, wasn't it? So Yaron. They haven't done anything on the scoreboard yet, Carl, but you just feel something, don't you?
Well, they've owned the footy. They've had most of the ball, but haven't been able to get much penetration. Only had the couple of inside 50 entries.
I reckon this is one bloke who is having a career best season ever. I mean, not many Carlton players you'd say that about.
And not many players go to their third club and really make a fist of it, but he's certainly doing that at the moment, Andreas Everett.
Casbolt trying to get it off to Robinson. Robinson clever there. He was outnumbered and toe poked to the boundary line, and it'll be a throw-in.
Andrew Carazzo doesn't look too happy. Hopefully he's okay. Boundary throw in on the outer side. Just the 4 wins for Carlton. Watershed night for them, you suspect. Boundary throw in. Blixarves tries to knock it down. Was pushed in the back. He'll get the free. Interesting player. One of a kind. Selwood just beyond the wing. On the lead, the lead inclusion Walker in for Simpson. Looking down towards half forward. Blixarves comes back for him. Not required. Goes short. McIntosh. I think it was paid for a free kick.
They're a tall team, Geelong, aren't they? When you look at the Blixarves and Walker there has come in for Simpson and McIntosh, and now Hawkins may be on the end of this work. He ran beautifully, didn't he? Just got rid of Rowe. He's probably within range here, Hawkins.
He looked like a man mountain then, didn't he? Sam Rowe's been one Carlton defender. I think he's been pretty good in the one-on-one contest, Rowe, as he's got used to playing that big defensive role, but geez, he does make them look small and light, Hawkins, when he pushes into them.
He's 3 goals shy of leading the Coleman right now. He's on 28. Jack Revolt on 31. Well, he disguised that to full forward. Not sure if it's going to come off. McLean and Waite both got their hands involved with Murdoch. Everett good to Simpson, and then Simpson. Good kick coming out. So the Blues take advantage.
Gallett's away then. Runs the outer wing. Hall and Smith trying to go with him. Gallett a bit too nimble. He's gaining ground on Hall and Smith despite bouncing the footy. Not a good kick, though. Awkward one for Henderson. He stopped it. Immediately attracts a crowd. Taylor took him down. Everett slick hands. Armfield. Garlett's run on. That's not in the back. Goes to ground. That was good by Hall and Smith. A, to pick him up and keep running. And B, not to fall in his back.
Well, Lee, I reckon that's when Carlton look their most dangerous, when Garlett and Yaron get up the ground and run and carry like that.
I'm still down the other end with Hawkins in his push. Not sure. Are you allowed to do that, Tom?
I need another look. Denbody's, he's clearly a stronger player than Rowe. The kick in from Hawkins was interesting. If he was going to centre it the way he did, he would have been better off giving it a bit of height.
Johnson to Hawkins. He won again that time. Fair and square, regardless of the other one. The umpire liked the other one. Rowe just pushed out of the way like a rag doll. Murdoch goes back. Couldn't take the mark. Tui's in there. On the assist is Walker. Great to see him back, Andrew Walker. Can do it at both ends. Did it there. Gives the ball across to Doherty on the half volley. Brilliantly gathered by Simpson. As Bruce said, he's having another wonderful season. Sends it up to the wing. Menzel's in trouble. Comes back to Simpson. Measures it. Gets a hand pass down the line. Everett. Now they're through. Casbolt. Oh, dear. That hand pass.
It's an extremely high tempo game. There's not a lot of team defence out there at the moment. Ball pinging from end to end.
And cats that you're normally calling early, like Johnson and Selwood, not really in the frame really, are
Well,
they?
they're going around both sides, but all the attacks are going around the boundary line, so that makes it a bit easier for the defence.
McLean fished it out pretty well. Thomas on the up to Gibbs. Now Gibbs has to measure this. That's a good kick. Right to full forward. Taylor did so well. So did Mackie. And so did Enright and Bartel. Some good names there. Billy Smets. That was interesting. Not great. And then Henderson did OK. Garland. Thomas should kick a goal, Daisy. And he does. They deserve it. It was a turnover, but they've been attacking hard.
It's really important that Carlton got some scoreboard pressure on Geelong because they've dominated the play. It's been an uncontested game for the most part, but just reward for the effort they've put in so far, the Blues.
Casbolt threw a boot at it. Kelly. Now Gibbs just pushes it wider. Armfield did nicely. Probing kick inside the forward 50. It was falling like space junk. It's knocked away down in front of the pack. Armfield kept coming and hand passes towards goal. Lonergan's in the road. Hand passes out to Bartel, to Guthrie. Now they're out. Rivers. High ball towards the wing. And I think Tui might get a free. Well, that's off the ball. That would be against Stevie J, I would think, about 30 metres away. 0.3 on your little totem pole, Lee.
Yes, and he does annoy his opponents, Carazzo. Good matchup.
Taylor and Chris Scott's been, well, not impatient with Stevie J, but he sort of put the acid on him in the last couple of weeks about, hasn't he?
Certainly leading into the Sydney game, he challenged Steve publicly and said he wanted a response, and Steve was probably below his best last week.
And that was over the report. So Motlop down low, but Armfield did well. Carlton winning the points at the moment inside their forward 50 again, and a ball up.
Stay there.
One thing, Hawkins is in good nick. Not that it's been down in the scoring position too much for him, but every time he's gone down, he's won it.
He's taken 4 marks and hasn't had a shot at goal yet. So if he takes marks, he's normally shooting for goal.
Carazzo hooking the ball back to full forward. Jamieson made a contest. Taylor, handball, just put Mackie under the pump. Just eluded Johnson. Well done, Duncan. He was first to it.
Goes and finds it too. He's at left half back. Wants a lead downfield. Rowe. Well, dispensed with again, although he did go to meet the football. Now Yaron lurking behind. Squares it to Gibbs. Robinson is on. Thought about it. Goes back instead. Waite's got it. Robinson discontinues his run.
They put a block of flats in the centre square. Neither side wants to attack through the centre square. They just keep going wide, both teams.
Waite did exactly that and drives it towards the outer side eventually. Going back, Rivers. Little look away hand pass. Taylor along the line. Now Hall and Smith inside the forward 50. Beautiful kick. Matthew Stokes getting in behind the defence. Takes a tumbling mark about 35 metres out.
Don't walk back over your mark, please.
Got behind the defence. So I guess it was the turnover created that. The quick turnover the defence is coming out with the footy. The forwards are often just will get back into space quicker.
Just some indecision coming out initially. Robinson was on, and they elected to go deep and lost all their momentum. Generally, in this game so far, they've been playing bold attacking football. Matthew Stokes. Very nice. You'd call that a matte finish.
Wayne, tell us about Jamison tonight.
Yeah, well, look, normally lines up, as we know, at full back, and we thought he'd line up on Tom Hawkins being their most dangerous forward, but he's actually lining up at full forward for the Blues, Bruce.
So Michael Malthouse mentioned to Richo that there'd be a surprise or two, and there has been.
He's trying something, isn't he?
And it's worked so far pretty well, though. That goal was against the flow. Robinson, well done. Everett gets to a scoring position. Oh, and that's... It sums up his career, and this is horrible. I mean, it's almost, nearly.
He's had some good moments against Geelong, well, Andreas Everett.
He kicked a very good goal, didn't he, at the SCG.
Billy Smets drives it out. Something he should have done earlier. Finds Blixarves. Comes wide with a kick. Selwood looks back, searching for it. Coming up the ground, though, it's Stokes. Got the last goal. Gibbs just wide of him. Did pretty well. Put some pressure on Kelly. Bartel low to the ground. Beats one. Not the second. Enright had it. Lost it. Clash of the 244s. Carranzo was putting the pressure on. Down towards the 50. McIntosh. He was outmanoeuvred by Warnock, the bigger man. And he knocks it across the boundary line. We'll have a throw in.
Starting to find some form. Robbie Warnock after some really heavy criticism earlier in the year.
Had 70 hit-outs last week, Tom. Not much influence on the game, I've got to say. But he had 70 hit-outs. That's a lot.
Well, we know they're overrated, Lee.
McIntosh. Lee, what was your motive there? The fact that he had 70 or the fact they didn't win the game?
That 70's a lot, but they didn't actually do much with him.
Guthrie goes back to Smets. Looks up, good kick that one, and finds Blixarves, uses the run of Hall-and-Smith. Normally a good use of Hall-and-Smith, not quite so this time. Robinson belting away, chance for Duncan and Waite. Gets away Duncan and then sits it up, waiting Walker, good mark. So Geelong taking some marks inside their forward 50 and make that another one. Bartel presenting. Started the year with an equal career high 4 goals. Well, it might have been his absolute career high, I think, actually, of 4 goals down at Kardinia Park, Simmons Stadium against Adelaide. He's tapered off a bit, hasn't he, in terms of his goal kicking?
Well, he started forward tonight. 2 weeks ago against North Melbourne, it was Kelly and Bartel in the middle of the ground that started like a house on fire, but Steve Johnson in the middle, Bartel down forward.
He's a 6 out of 10er when it's set shots this year, Jimmy. What a glorious career, right? 48 metres out, struck it beautifully. So a couple of premiership players get goals for the Cats, and they're in front.
A Brownlow medalist, but never a best and fairest.
He's a perennial top 3 finisher, Jimmy Bartel. He's got all the medals in his closet, bar the Carji Greaves.
Twice runner-up. Guthrie, to no one in particular. Doherty showing some dash, goes down towards half-court. Brilliant mark, brilliant pass. Thomas wants to go. He's working his way towards 50, but won't get it. Mackie doing very little there. Most of the work done by Thomas as he goes to the pocket off hands. Rivers goes back, and this will be interesting. He was flirting with danger there. Boundary throw in. Right on the line, says the umpire.
You mentioned about Bartel not having won the Geelong Club Championship. Some fairly good players he's been placed behind in this era.
You're the converse, of course. Reaching over the top, McIntosh knocks it down. Smets did well. A grimace on his face, said he was dinkum. He kicks it up towards the wing. Leading back is Bartel, stayed on his feet, tripped. Well, not a bad free kick to give up for Tui.
Mark says that.
Yeah, the Irishman. So Motlop quickly on, and then centering ball. Geelong starting to look good. Smets, he's got Guthrie, but that was the wrong way to go, and he didn't go that way. So Smets now off a step to Guthrie. Geez, good mark. Of course, Murphy thinking he got it first. Well, he did have a bit of it.
He probably did get it first, actually, yeah.
So I think you call play on in that situation, don't you? It's
Sure, but often if two hands go to the footy, the hand that comes down with it is usually get paid the mark. But that one, it looked like Murphy got the first touch.
It's a good young player, this bloke. He's not a massive goal kicker. Has he got that one home? No. And behind. So just made the distance from 40 metres out there. Might have been a bit lazy on the leg there. So dangerous times for Carlton because they'd had so much of it earlier. Now Geelong starting to get their mojo.
Jamison in the pocket. Easy to come out fired up for the first 10 minutes or so. Well, not easy, but Carlton coming out in that vein. But suddenly it's all Geelong. Duncan, McIntosh, Enright sends it inside the forward 50. Camped in front, Simpson.
Play on.
Short is Warnock. Well, it's a contradiction in terms, but he's got the footy. Gives it across towards Armfield, who has a bounce. Alongside the centre circles, probing kick, and not a bad one either. To the advantage of the man behind who came to the front. McLean is marked about 35 metres out directly in front.
What was great about that passage of play was they brought the ball in through the middle of the ground. Armfield is starting to run wide, but then brings it back. Great vision there from behind the goals, because that's the most attacking part of the ground. That's really fantastic transitional play there by Carlton. Started by Kate Simpson. Just puts himself in really good positions down back, doesn't he? Brave as they come.
It was really good by Brock McLean, too. Classic way to mark the footy. Come and meet it. He should convert. His career was over. He's resurrected it. He puts it through. He's been value in the last few seasons.
Well, this man here, Dennis Armfield, back into the team tonight, and he started really well. He's had 7 disposals. That was a great kick to advantage for Brock McLean, but he's had 3 inside 50s and a couple of clearances as well. So Mick's throwing things around.
So the Blues back in front, and that goal started with a good mark down back from Simpson and finished with one. So Johnson's high ball forward, difficult one to get hold of. Tui and Bartel. Bartel putting the pressure on. Oh, sort of knew that was going to happen. I mean,
he had to realise he was under too much pressure to be able to keep the ball in. You just got to try and play it along the line. It was a bad error.
So Stokes just sets it up for Hawkins, and Horland Smith roved it brilliantly, and then kicks the goal. Does he? He does. How was that?
Oh, that
That's
is
good cricketer.
Perfect play. He actually knew that he was on an acute angle, so he looked inside.
Yep.
Nothing on. The ball across the body, which all the Geelong players, let alone most players in the competition now, seem to be able to make this across the body curling kick work.
Great line and length, wasn't it?
Great play.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's starting to really emerge, Tom. You feel like of the young ones, he might right now be in front of most of them at Geelong.
Yeah, there's huge raps on George Horland Smith just for his character and his work rate, and he's not going to die wondering. Taking a little while to develop, but that's a fantastic kick, because a lot of players would use the left foot. Stevie J would be happy with that. Would use the left foot and go for the check side, but he actually gets some angle to hook it around with around the corner. Marvellous effort.
Garlett knocks it out. Collision of 2 players, Enright and Kelly. Hacked forward by Enright. It bounces down towards half forward. There's that man again. Armfield played it brilliantly. Flicked it out to Tui. And now Walker's away. Good Shepherd came from Jamison. Walker needs to be pinpoint. Yaron peels back off Hughes. Finds the footy, runs inside 50. He'll align himself to goal. He's looking to the middle. Not sure what he's thinking. Go ahead and kick it, he does.
He'll turn his opponent inside out, and once he gets goal side, you're not going to catch him. But Duck, he's really throwing it around. Mick Yaron's been down back, now he's up forward, and Jared Waite's gone forward now.
Yeah, I've loved the fact that Mick's thrown it around tonight. Really good move early in this game, and as you said, Waite now forward, but it's been that run and carry that has held Carlton in good stead so far.
So Gibbs from Doherty running bounces lead 9-0 Carlton in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're taking the game on a bit, going wide as we've pointed out, but certainly taking the game on.
So Gibbs can straighten up after Simpson gave him the chance. Garlett's up and about. Speaking of running bounces, now McLean's on here. He's got him, and well, he should go back and dob it. It's not as easy as the last one. It's gettable though.
Needs to kick it for Carlton's sake. They're well on top in this game. I think Geelong have made the most of their opportunities forward. But if he goes back and kicks this, it's probably a good reflection of where the game's at.
It's his 5th season of the Blues. It's his 55th match here. Plays his 150th next year, so he's only averaged sort of about 10 matches a year. This is big. This would give them the lead they probably deserve, and that's a poor result. So a lot of good work there. Still a couple of points up.
I thought this would be a really intense, high-tackling game, particularly early, but it hasn't turned out that way. Geelong about 7 tackles, Carlton 12, so that's really average. There isn't a whole lot of that desperation in the game to get after the opposition at this point.
Carlton by 2 points. McIntosh is the target for Enright. Thomas behind. Very slick hand pass. Simpson picked up by Rowe. Made it look okay. Robinson. Mark is taken by Mackie. That was clever. Finessing his opponent, was being held as well. Machiavellian. He's taken the mark and goes across the ground. Blixarves has taken it in the opposite pocket. Now there's a burst coming across the ground. That's from Kelly. Working hard. Kelly at left half back. Blixarves is on. Well, he doesn't go there. He goes short to Taylor, to Mackie. Barely the 15. Blixarves still running the outer side. He'll be involved shortly, I reckon. Rivers has got it. Blixarves now. There he is on the wing, stretching, takes it. Looks down towards half forward. He's hard to run with. That's a wayward kick, though. Undid his good running. Waite spilt the mark. Gives Geelong a second chance at the footy. Comes to Rowe. Rowe did nicely. Kept his head. Drives it back towards the wing. Over the head of Smets and Garlett. Coming to meet it. Rivers just as well. Slaps it to Enright.
And then Enright to Stokes. Back to Enright. Enright moving freely after the ankle. Gets it with a poor kick and Casbolt cuts it off. Geelong have looked better than Carlton when they've gone forward. The Blues, with McLean a couple of marks inside the forward 50. Walker, dangerous kick. Might come off. Gibbs has to fish for it. Back to Walker. Back to Doherty. Back to Walker. And then Walker, that's not great. Henderson's been quiet so far. Lovely kick. Timed it beautifully to McLean. Now, Everett's inside. Doesn't go that way. Goes to Yaron. Can he turn his man in Mackie? Trying. Not a great handball. Everett had to stand up. Couldn't quite get away with it. Rivers, Blixarves, back to Mackie. And Carlton just messed it up a bit. They had some chances there. They just weren't clean enough. Oh, Enright. That's a poor kick. Menzel's a good finisher. Looked up and finds Garlett. Well, a couple of times. Smets early and then Enright there coming out of the back half with a short kick.
Just haven't punished Geelong enough with the turnovers at the moment. So really need to ensure this one goes through.
But he's been the sub in these last 3 matches, Garlett. He started tonight pretty well. He's 5 out of 9 from set shots this year, so you wouldn't put your house on it. But right now, it's looking pretty good. So Carlton sneak away. Garlett hits the board.
So Carlton by 8 points, approaching quarter time.
The two guns aren't firing.
Yeah, the Carlton coaching staff would be happy with that result so far, wouldn't they? Gibbs and Carazzo playing those roles for the Blues.
Warnock up very high, and again Warnock knocking it forward. Garlett, a lot of industry about his game tonight. Warnock smothered off the boot, again knocks it forward. Down goes Waite. Lonergan got him. Good smother Bartel on Garlett. McIntosh digs it out of there. Smets a deflection. Johnson upended, taken by Murphy. Slips away to Murphy. Wonderful acceleration. Kicked into Stokes though. Loose ball now. Garlett again goes in, wins the footy. Tui goes back. Murphy, chance to rebuild from the wing. Goes down towards half forward. Here comes Waite. Taking the mark about 2 metres in from the line.
Just a good kick by Murphy. Timed it perfectly and then Waite to half forward. And I think he's got it. Casbolt. So that was a great result in the end. I mean, from a defensive position at centre wing with Murphy under the pump to find Waite, and then this kick. I'm not sure if he absolutely struggled.
Have a look at the degree of difficulty on that mark. He's holding off his direct opponent with the one arm and plucks it in the other.
Well, this makes it a big first quarter if he can get this one home. He hasn't been very accurate. He's 3 goals, 5 from set shots.
Not the strength of his game, set shot goal shooting, Casbolt, but he can mark the footy. important goal for Carlton.
For sure. I mean, this would give them what they probably deserve. A couple of goals and some. At the moment, their lead is 8 points, and that's going to just get in for a behind. So the Blues in a pretty impressive opening quarter, but a strange first term in many ways. Interesting enough, though, here on the Friday night. It's Carlton leading Geelong. 3-1 the Cats. The Blues are 4-4.
There's a contender for goal of the year from Haaland Smith, but it's been the Blues dominating this first quarter. They've got a 9-point lead, but they've been really good in maintaining possession and keeping Geelong down. And Wayne Carey, we talked about versatility pre-game. You wanted to see some changes from Mick Malthouse, and we certainly have.
We did. I love the fact that Mick started Waite down back. He got some early touches and then obviously went forward and took a couple of marks. I love the fact that he did that. Jamison also started forward and then went down back to give them some stability. And I think they'll probably change it around again. But, Richo, what we really loved was Carlton's run and the fact that they took the game on.
It certainly did. Well, Dale Thomas got them off to a flyer, as you can see there. Yaron started down back, but we'd love it when he gets goal side. You can't stop him. Carlton actually had 9 running bounces in that first quarter to 0 Geelong, and that really summed it up. They were able to get out in space, and when they do that, they're a really dangerous team. But there's plenty of upside for the Cats because Johnson and Selwood have been quiet. Carazzo and Gibbs have done the job, but you know they won't stay down.
No, that's right. The two superstars, I mean, they'll actually revel in this, and you'd expect them to come out in this second quarter and be really hard at it.
Back up to you, Bruce.
Good on you, Richo, with Wayne there. So, Michael Malthouse, 699 games as coach, so joins Jock McHale next week in the 700 club. Remarkable, Johnson.
Remarkable.
Have a look at this photo, guys. This is just before the start of the game. We saw the fact that they had the white shorts on, so the big change had to occur. It's a start of a match for the difference. So on went the navy blue, and all's well that ends well.
I would imagine that qualifies as a 1%er, doesn't it? Getting the shorts right.
I think so.
This is the age of the 1%ers.
Will that be critically reviewed, like the on-field performance, the off-field performance get reviewed?
I think so. And speaking of which, it seems to be Carlton's speed is really sort of stretching this defence and getting them isolated.
Yeah, it's funny, over the journey, probably 5 or 6 years, we talk Gartlett, Betts is obviously now at the Crows, and Yaron have been a bit of a thorn in Geelong's side, and it's almost back to the future there. And I agree with Wayne. I love the fact that Jamison, Waite have mixed and matched between full back and full forward. They're really doing well. So
the Cats facing their own test here as we start this second term. Carlton by 9 points. Haaland Smith met solidly, went to ground, slow to get up. Garlett laid it off. Out wide by Gibbs. Menzel traps the bouncing footy, wheels around. Robinson. They're lively. They're up and about. Yaron, the names that Tommy was just talking about, to the pocket. And Casbolt on the stretch takes a good grab.
So every time we watch Casbolt play, he takes 2 or 3 really good contested marks, doesn't he? And it's just this aspect of the game. If he could get this right, he'd be a really valuable asset.
I think he and his team, you know, they're kind of demoralising when you have shots and you just can't take them. I mean, this is a difficult shot for any kick, but he tends to be a 1 out of 3 at best. Set shot accuracy.
Good thing he didn't put his mouth guard in his white shorts. There goes the kick. It's across the face of goal to the opposite pocket. Oh, yes. Belated spoil. Warnock took the mark. McIntosh tried to knock it away, but it stuck.
Take it away.
That's valuable. Ruck stocks when you can get in and actually just become a big target and take 1 or 2 of them a game. It's enormously valuable because that makes McIntosh now is going to be looking for him from now on.
Had a similar shot, as I recall, on a Friday night against the Cats to win a game. From about here, no mistake tonight. He's learnt by his errors. Robbie Warnock puts it through.
Big bump here from Robinson on Haaland Smith.
Well, I mean, Lee spoke about it before the game. The expectation was off.
But Geelong would actually be doing that kind of... That was
I think that's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Body contact.
But you would expect that from Geelong as opposed to the Carlton players. So, yep, time to respond now.
Carlton first quarter won all the contests, won the clearances, won the contested possessions, had more tackles.
Yeah.
So all those intensity level stats have gone Carlton's way.
And they've had 9 shots to 4, Lee. So
yeah, that's important scoreboard one.
So Garland gets it inside 50. Henderson, who hasn't had much of it early. Enright sweeping it up to Rivers, to Smets. Just his 2nd game for the season. Had a quiet one last week. Gets it to half to centre wing. Now Bartel worked Walker well there. He got hold of him and forces a stoppage with a boundary throw in.
It's a difficult matchup when he's in the forward line, Bartel, because he's so good overhead. I think Walker's a good matchup, though.
Very good matchup.
Good guy, can run, good in the air, so that's a good matchup for Carlton.
And when Jimmy turns him inside out, he's quick enough to sort of respond, isn't he?
Yep.
Carlton Smith. Menzel's been impressive so far tonight and taken over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Well, it's fundamentally, Lee, I mean, it's an uncontested game at the moment, but when you look at it, it is one-on-one all over the park. And so, yeah, from a Carlton point of view, they clearly went in with 3 key matchups in the middle of the ground, and then that's being dictated across the rest of the park. So it's on Carlton's terms at the minute.
They lead by 15. Selwood, quick hands. Guthrie, tall bounce. No chance for Motlop. Goes inside the front half. Knocked away well by Rowe. Almost back to the ball. Got a fist on it. And they bring it away. So Waite's kick. Down Simpson. Brings Murphy into play. Murphy, that's a beautiful kick. Garlett just has to wait momentarily. That was enough to do him in. Closing was Enright. Spoils fall to Taylor. And Taylor goes out wide. They've got men back in the corridor. Motlop is running towards the outer side, but nothing to kick to. There's Motlop. Continued his run, but he's only about 20 metres away from the man with the footy. Now, going around the umpire, Duncan takes the mark, lobs it over the top, dangerous kick. Mackey, not paid the mark, juggled it, fair enough too, picked up by Gibbs, sends it back inside the forward 50. Enright showing no nerves, in fact, held on a while too long. His kick was effective. Well done by Armfield to Thomas.
It was, Dennis. It was really clever. And then Daisy looked up and found Casbolt. Casbolt's numbers have improved. He's gone from averaging about 9 disposals a match to 13 this season. So you feel like he's going to arrive one day.
On the man, Geelong. Advantage taken.
So Thomas hurt behind play. Stokes, Guthrie loves to run, had to bring him down weight and he didn't, and then Stokes off a step. Hawkins, you like him in this situation. There's been a good match-up by Rowe since those first few minutes. He's done okay. Hawk can't get it out. Weight almost to Yaron. Ball still not out. Armfield had a really good opening term. Battles the ball forward, but Hall and Smith underneath takes the mark. Hall and Smith short into the centre.
Selwood. Searching kick. He was under pressure. It works out beautifully, though. May have spotted the movement late from Hawkins as he was falling. And Hawkins is marked with the man on the mark about 35 metres out.
One thing Joel Selwood does so well, he takes the contact. And he's therefore gives him that extra half step to be able to see where to kick the footy because he's prepared to be belted at the last moment.
The first time, really, you sense that Geelong understand the gravity of the situation now. Those last couple of minutes were pretty hard from both clubs. Thomas coming off. Tom Hawkins. 28 goals for this season. Important kick, this one. Looks pretty good. Gun barrel straight.
Richo, talk to us about Dale Thomas.
Yeah, he's off the ground there, as you can see now. He's talking to the doc. They have checked his jaw. They checked his cheekbones. I think he's going to be okay. He's a little bit startled when he first came off, though.
He's been playing a defensive role forward tonight, hasn't he? So he's an important person. He got the opening goal of the match. Selwood starting to get involved. Blitzarves, Kelly. McLean couldn't bring down Buse. Well done, Smets. Bartel, Guthrie's running carries important. Kicks to a hot spot. Well done at the back there by Jamison. On the up, just missing Murdoch. Goes back to Kelly in the pocket. And coming back, Duncan to Bartel. Improves the angle a little bit.
That's right on attack.
And Jimmy.
Meterage out on that one.
15.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, we talked about Bartel's set shots, Lee. This is a tough one. I mean, he's 7-4 from set shots this year. You feel like he's a very reliable kick normally, don't you?
He's got a really low ball drop. He almost kicks the ball out of his hand. I mean, there's very little distance between ball drop and instep, which makes it a much more consistent action.
So he's got to sort of hug that right goal post, and he hasn't done that. He's pushed it across the side and behind.
Has been a lift in the last couple of contests from Geelong.
Yep.
Joel Selwood exerting himself on the game, ensuring that there's at least a contest through the middle of the ground. Bodies clashing bodies.
Cameron Guthrie's been good too.
Yep.
That's it, there, walks!
There's Jamison. Stalwart back there. Plays on. Drives it high towards the wing. McIntosh battles with Casbolt. Clears the pair of them and a boundary throw in on the other side wing. So the margin is back to just 8 points now. Thomas waiting to come back on, so that's good news. Stakes so high for both these clubs, particularly Carlton. McIntosh into the face of Kelly. Casbolt miscues. Stokes into Mines. Lays it off Kelly. Comes away. High ball inside the forward 50. Rowe almost the mark. Went to ground. Plucked by Hawkins. Spots a man on the loose. Mackie. And Mackie is marked and very keen to mark out his ground as well. Just inside the 50. It's a strong kick. Was in some doubt earlier in the week. Almost a mark.
That's just the pressure of playing on a really strong player. He's under the pump there, Rowe. He really needed to glove that one.
So Mackie, no stranger to kicking goals from long range. Well, that was offline. Is claimed over the line by Walker.
It was interesting from Hawkins a moment ago, because I thought he could have hooked it around his body. He was sort of within range. Got the ball out to Mackie. Couldn't quite. So Murphy. And Murphy down the line. Thomas said back in, but he's coughed that one up. And Stokes can make him pay, and I think he will. It's a good kick. And now Hawkins looking again.
Go back.
It's a fearsome sight with that Guernsey split down the middle there. Look at him. And that one, yep, behind. So, Wayne, what's the kick here? I mean, is it just the right goalpost? Is it?
Yeah, I think for a right footer, you want to aim it at the right goalpost, because you naturally get right to left if you're a right footer, and I think that's generally his kicking action. But I agree with Lee over the last couple of weeks. He really has to kick through the ball from this distance to be a good kick, like he would if he was 50 out.
Well, this will give him 30 goals for the season and get him within one of leading the Coleman, or equal leading the Coleman. Good kick. Kept the line, and Hawkins is becoming the most important player on the ground.
You were about to see this. He was stiff here, Rowe, because he was out of position. Hawkins gets the mark, but he's starting to really gain confidence. They're opening up the 50 for him now. I reckon it's nearly time to go to Jamison.
McIntosh, good judgment there. Hurried kick down towards half forward. Going back with a flight of it, Selwood. Knows no other way. Sometimes they don't stick. That one did. Deep to the pocket. Intended for Walker. Knocked away by Tui.
And Richo just throw it. This is a fantastic mark here from the skipper. Richo, just watching Sam Rowe, he's really Hawkins conscious now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's starting to worry about Tom too much, and he's not just playing the ball on its merits, and that's a bad sign for a defender.
Stokes sharking the knock from Warnock and snapping his second goal.
First time he's kicked more than a single goal this year, Stokes, in a match. So they've had 80% of the disposal since the Warnock goal, the Cats. Absolute domination. Selwood, so important. McIntosh, Gibbs. And this is, Warnock did really well. Second effort, terrific. Out wide. Carlton need to respond quickly, you feel. They've done so well for a quarter and a bit, but they need a quick response. They had a handy lead early in this quarter. Mark dropped. Rivers, Guthrie just loves to run and carry. So does this guy, Motlop. Kelly, corralled, hard to bring down Kelly, but not a good handball. Pressure good from the Blues. Robinson, Garlett, good kick. Carazzo takes the mark. This will test him. He may want to give it off. I was just thinking a moment ago with that centre bounce, this is the moment Carlton's leaders have got to stand up. We talk a lot about them. Jamison, Armfield, Jamison not a noted goal kicker and, behind. But Selwood's imposed himself. You feel like, OK, Murphy's got to match him now.
Yeah, for Carlton when the contest is really on.
To midfield. The runner moves quickly. Gibbs went to ground. Walker, now they're on. Paul and Smith looks down the ground. Not too many options, as you can see. Undecided. Goes to Lonergan. Lonergan. So from one end to the other, the deepest defender taking a shot at goal and/or passing to a forward who can.
He's just blitzing him down there, Hawkins. Now, is it a credit to Rowe's improvement this year, or is it Jamison gone backwards a bit? Because you would have thought Jamison is the automatic matchup for the opposition's best big forward.
I can only assume it's a strength issue. You know, maybe Rowe benches more than Jamison, perhaps.
Yeah.
He's just such a hulk.
That was impossible for Rowe then, really, but he didn't have any body contact on at all and just made it really easy for Hawkins.
So Hawkins should be getting pretty comfortable with this area on the ground. Third shot in the term from here or hereabouts. He's kicked 1-1 so far from the previous two. Good at 2 goals on the night. Again, gives the goals away. He's worked it out perfectly. That's what good players do. Doesn't take them long to acclimatise.
Well, at the moment, Carlton are basically playing a one-on-one game, and Geelong responded before the last goal by putting an extra player in the back line, which creates a 7-on-7 in the Carlton forward line, which means it's a 5-on-5 in the Geelong forward line, which plays into the hands of Tom Hawkins perfectly.
Johnson conceding but doing well to Enright. Enright's kick to centre wing. Yaron getting that one over the line. So notice a Waite and Henderson forward. At the moment, Henderson just hasn't been able to impose himself at all.
I only had the one possession. I mean, we said Mick Malthouse was really brave to make the moves at the start of the game. I think right now he has to be brave and make a couple of moves.
Yep.
Obviously with Jamison on to Hawkins and or Henderson, because he's only had the one possession.
It's a critical time in the match, isn't it? I mean, Geelong have kicked the last 4 goals of the game, and Hawkins has kicked 3 of those. So Simpson getting the ball forward for a boundary throw in.
Henderson just in the area, I reckon, Wayne, is you know, not necessarily playing on Hawkins, but you know, made his name as a defender, intercept mark, and just put a bit of pressure there for Carlton.
They're very smart at doing that, Henderson.
McIntosh, Warnock, Gibbs. Had a good first term, Gibbs. Back to Casbolt. Interesting move by Casbolt. Got the ball down the line. Robinson, Waite, clever. Thomas will draw Menzel. Oh, well done, Rivers. Garlick got it from Robinson. Now here's Henderson, but hard here. And that's so easy for Taylor, isn't it? I mean, that's so tough for any forward.
He's a good player, Taylor. I mean, he makes it hard for any forward, really. Except Franklin last week did a pretty good job on him. But that aside, he's tough to mark against, and Henderson's finding that.
Cats by 10 points, boundary throw in. Big transformation in this game. Hughes went to ground. McLean can't find a way out, standing in front of him, Selwood.
So Wayne, Henderson needs to exert himself on the game. How's he do that?
Oh, well, right now, as Lee just said, Buddy did really well on him last week. I mean, you can't just stand in the goal square on Harry Taylor. You have to move around.
Oh, well done, Bryce Gibbs. Wonderful, wonderful goal. That should lift his teammates.
Lee, we talked about Selwood imposing himself. Needed a response. They got it from Gibbs.
He did, yeah. Just won the contest and kicked the goal. I mean, that really was a goal out of nothing that he just created by rooting the ball off hands.
And here is Selwood again to Mackie. Then Mackie with a neat-looking kick wide. The Yaron read it better than Duncan. And now he gets on his bike, though. He's got Motlop chasing him. That was a fast peloton, that one, as the ball goes to half-forward and a boundary throw-in. Anyone read Harry Taylor's article today? I thought it was fantastic about the pendulums and quoting
roundabouts,
quoting Einstein and Rafa Nadal in the same sentence. I'm not sure if Albert should be pleased or Rafa. Both geniuses, aren't they? Carazzo to Robinson. And then Robinson off a step to fall forward. Menzel worked underneath it by Buse. And then Buse on the up, OK. Kelly getting down deep, back to Buse. Tight in there, Selwood has to wait. Gets down low, played it well. Buse butted up, well done, young Buse. Guthrie, and Geelong played that so well to Hall and Smith.
On one knee. This is Murdoch, first kick of the night, sends it down towards full forward. Stokes does brilliantly. Held his ground, protected the drop zone, went back and marked it. He's been at 2.
The precision work here on the far wing from where we're sitting, and this kick is absolutely spot on here. Stokes has played Simpson, who's a fantastic defender. Beautiful kick in here from Murdoch. And again, taking a lot of marks inside forward 50.
Just had the body position. All he knew is if he just leant forward to make sure that Simpson couldn't come back, then he would just fall back into the drop of the footy. Great judgment.
Stokes. Oh dear. Most unlike him. The build-up terrific. The finish not so flash. The let-off for Carlton. 5 points the difference. Simpson quickly in. Goes to Walker, who decides to run it around the outer side.
It's his first set shot this year, Stokes, which is surprising in its own right. But what a miss. Hall Smith, Mackie. Well done, Doherty there, getting the ball forward. Yarran held on to, no free kick. Smets through the centre. Walker, he's the inclusion for Simpson tonight. Kelly rolling sweetly to half forward. Oh, that's a great mark again. Stokes, Motlop does the check side. What a goal, yes! That's Geelong at its best.
Just a good mark by Stokes, but the kick off the outside of the right foot, he just feels he's got more control, more confidence than having a go with his non-dominant left side. But many players are now doing kicking out the outside of their dominant foot, aren't they?
McIntosh over the football. Here they are. Good gather by Kelly. The outside of the boot. Gibbs trying hard. Sends it back to Everett, who's drifted out of the game, to Gibbs. Dangerous kick low down. Doherty on his knees. Played it okay. Here's Walker. In characteristic fashion. Takes off. He's got that Conchita beard thing going too as he goes down towards half forward. The mark is taken by Henderson.
Right on it, Harry.
Gee, was good by Walker, Dennis. I mean, he really took a chance. That's what we're talking about, that braveness they need. Now, Henderson's got a good leg. He kicks the ball right to the goal square. Casbolt, yes!
Couldn't miss from here, surely.
Jimmy.
He's not in the square. He's going to be on a bit of an angle.
I'm sure the Carlton fans would like him in the square if possible.
Wasn't this terrific by Walker?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Took it on. The pace to break up the game. I mean, the players that have got it, there's not that many of them really that can just put the head down and charge, but gee, breaks the play up.
He's not Tom Hawkins, but I tell you what, he's the second best mark out there tonight, this guy.
No, good mark.
Well, he just has to drill this home. Big for him, big for the Blues. He's got it. Carlton are keeping up, and that's important, aren't they?
Yeah, good response. Fantastic response from Andrew Walker. They just need to hold their nerve, Carlton. They've done a lot right. And they would know that Geelong are going to come at some stage, and they've done that already. But terrific from Walker. Great kick in, and Casbolt's providing a target.
Because he plays the second ruck role, he gets the ball enough already to be a valuable player. If he can just clean up his goal kick to make sure he's at least getting like a 60% accuracy of shots, he's capable of kicking his 2 or 3 goals a week and be a really good second ruckman.
Matty, there's some dramas with Dale Thomas.
Yeah, there is. He has gone down the race into the rooms with the doctor. Simon White is into the game, so I'm only speculating, but you would think that may be the concussion sub, the 20-minute sub.
Sounds that way, Matty.
McIntosh to Johnson. So quiet in the first half. Kicks inside the forward 50s and holding on. It's going to be Hawkins' free kick, but advantage has been paid. Walker runs to the goal square, turns around, checks what was going on behind him, and then just pops it across the line. Anticlimactic.
I wouldn't mind having a look at the centre bounce again. It seemed to be outside the second circle, and Geelong got a clearance. You'd be filthy about that. There you see Robbie Warnock with his hand up. You've got to play the whistle, I guess. The advantages are relevant because the fact that he stopped, no one was going to get it anyway. The centre circle is what we want to have a look at.
It was the fact that the Carlton players basically stopped when the ball kept running. Well outside.
That's well outside. You've got to bring that back.
Umpires are not bringing it back as much as they used to, are they? I mean, this wasn't a contest, was it?
No, that's rightly felt hard done by, I think.
So Murphy, can the Blues respond again? Gibbs has been very good. Wide to Robinson. Now Casbolt couldn't quite. He was a sort of third man there, and his run was taken. Blitzarth brought down. Casbolt in hard. caught up by Rivers. Looks a bit high, the tackle, but he's going to be pinged for holding the ball. Well, hard to get a really good look at it, but he went to ground. Not many free kicks paid, as you can see. Either way, so Rivers down the line. Walker, who just kicked that, and that's the other Walker. I was talking about Josh, and then it was Andrew over the top and building the ball out. So Guthrie doing the job on Murphy. Murphy, of course, will talk to Lee Matthews. He spoke to him yesterday of just about lots of things, but about that tagging role and how you try and brush them off.
Guthrie's done very well, Murphy. Just the 7 possessions, knocked out in front. Johnson, oh, taken high. No free kick. He looked at. Here's White, meantime, as Richo told you, perhaps on for 20 minutes. We'll find out a little bit later. Mackie sends it forward. Missed by Lonigan, does a lot of talking. Rivers a little nervous. Creates his own space, if you don't mind, and goes down towards half forward. Bartel comes to it. Sloppy football from both sides. Garlett steals it. He's away. Now, they're caught the other way, certainly Geelong. Carlton have got a couple of loose players, one of whom marked the football, goes short. That's Waite, low down. It's taken by Henderson. Henderson spots Garlett moments ago. He's across half back, and he spills it. Not sure it ever got to him on the full. What great running by Jeff Garlett.
We've got to have a look at it at half-time. We spoke to Mark Murphy about leadership and just the way he got the centre-bounce clearance and then got and laid the next tackle about 50 metres away. That's visible leadership, a leadership example. Really impressive.
McIntosh, well done. Guthrie, Enright, got through. Geelong have been terrific in this quarter. Everett. Simpson. This could be a dangerous turnover. He did well, Simpson. Oh, couldn't get it past Motlop. Now danger. Bartel's on his bike. Motlop running hard. Bartel, I don't think, can get to the right position. That's a very interesting kick. Rowe getting back and concedes.
I think he lack of mobility there, don't
he could just run it straight over, but he tried to disguise it, didn't he?
I'm just not that agile up.
So Yarran to bring it out. So 6-4 in this quarter for the Cats. That equals their highest score in any quarter this season. So they have been productive.
Casbolt, dangerous kick. Knocked away and over the line by Walker. We'll have a boundary throw in intended for McLean. And Sam Rowe did very well there too. He matched strides with Bartel going back to goal, which may say something about both players.
Yeah, in all seriousness, that was a terrific effort. Stokes was also lurking in the area for Geelong, so great result for Sam Rowe on the Blues.
McIntosh backhands it down. Johnson ran himself into trouble. Guthrie had a good night so far. Tackled by Gibbs. Stolen away by Duncan, who's been quiet. Looks up. Bartel gets it on the half volley. Goes to ground. Found himself on top of the football. Not by design. He could be pinged here. Umpire lets them go. Duncan trying to reef it out of there. Yarran improvising. Well done by Walker. Outside of the boot by Everett. Back towards the wing. Sliding in. Doing well. Casbolt missed the target though. Grabbed by Enright. High ball to the pocket. This will be interesting. Waiting was Walker. He was like the clean white shirt waiting for the chocolate sauce. He knew what was coming.
Richo, what have you got, mate?
Yeah, Michael Jamieson has been off for over 5 minutes. He was down the race having a calf looked at, right calf. So there's some real injury concerns for the Blues at the moment.
And they're sort of just hanging on, aren't they? I mean, Geelong really pressing here. Johnson, well done, Gibbs. Carazzo, Menzel, oh, fumble. And then off the up, Carazzo forced a bang. The Gibbs clever, dropped it down. Everett, okay. Menzel, sloppy kick. Rivers, off a step, looks up. Neat-looking kick to the pocket. Well done, Yarran. Well, the Blues would have loved Yarran to have done that to Beams last week. And a boundary throw-in. Carlton just hanging on. It's been a good contest.
Still time for either side to kick a goal here. But positioning favours the Cats, certainly. They're up by 12. Goal would make it very, very good as far as the Cats are concerned going to half-time, given they trailed by 9 at quarter-time. The umpire calls for it, rightly so.
See Carazzo on the bottom of the pack. He's doing a terrific job on Steve Johnson. And you see Steve just to the left of the screen there. This is the situation he loves more than anything else.
Duncan knocks it down. Carazzo. Simpson let it fall. Kelly Johnson deep in the pocket, slides it across the front of goal. And the behind is rushed inside the last minute of the first half.
It's a good example. I mean, Carazzo couldn't get to Johnson there and just needed some more help from his teammates. So just Carlton young side needs to be aware of the strengths of the opposition players.
So they've got to be protective of the ball here, the Blues. I mean, probably don't... Well, maybe have one little chance they can get it over the back, but really they're defending now to half-time, you think, and the ball gets almost up to the centre wing. So Jamison, a bit of a problem. And Matty's told us that Thomas is probably the concussion, well, definitely the concussion. Matthew? Any more on Jamison, Matty? I just saw the mic up to your lips. That's all right, mate. When you're a Hall of Famer, you don't have to talk to a bloke like me. It's all right. Gibbs, Hall and Smith. Stokes arches the back. He's been brilliant, Stokes, and so's Hawkins.
Oh.
Well, the two players of the first half, eh?
Boy, that's scary for Rowe. When the ball comes to the contest, the question, if he gets too close to Hawkins, Hawkins just shoves him out of the road. It's just a really... He's just so strong, and that hip strength to hold his position, Hawkins.
Now, Hawkins has never kicked 4 goals in a quarter, and that mark equals his career high for the first half. So he's having a night out here. He probably could have had 5 goals because they played the advantage on one of them, remember, with Walker. So this to give 4 second-quarter goals for Tom Hawkins. Puts him in front of McColeman if he gets it, and gives Geelong, more importantly, a good lead at half-time. He's got it. So Hawkins with 4 goals in 1 quarter, and Geelong steamed to half-time on a Friday night. It's the Cats 66 to the Blues 47.
It's time to meet this week's NAB AFL Oz Kicker of the Year nominee. Thanks to NAB doing more to fortify Australia. This lucky Oz kicker will enjoy an amazing Toyota AFL Grand Final experience, including walking in the parade, playing on the MCG, and presenting a premiership medal. Let's get a Hamish who's with this week's nominee.
That there is 6-year-old Poppy Thompson. Welcome, Poppy. Where have you come from?
Gold Coast.
And who do you support?
Suns.
Favourite players?
Jago O'Meara and Gary Ablett.
And you were very good out there tonight. How many goals did you kick?
7.
17.
No, 7.
27.
7.
Excellent. Now, you have done something extraordinary, and I'm very excited by this. You have 2 things for me, is that right? I normally give the presents out, but you've got 2 presents.
It's a picture of me taking a mark over you.
I tell you what, I don't look very happy, but that's excellent artwork. Looks like Gary Pert underneath Gary Ablett. Well done. And you've also got a cap for me. What club cap is that?
It's the Fuss and Fern Falcons.
Well, thank you. So I've got some stuff for you. That's your shirt, round 12 nominee. You've got a football from the team at NAB. And somewhere here you've got 2 grand final tickets, which I've lost, but I'll have them for you. Thank you very much for coming down. When do you head home?
Tomorrow.
Righto. Well, I appreciate it, and travel well, and thank you very much for the picture. That's going into a frame and into my office. Travel well.
Thank you.
Back to you, Den, from the Wiggle.
Well done, Hamish. Isn't he going well?
I reckon the kids will interview him by the end of it.
Well, it's a sought-after job, and he's fighting them off, and he's keeping his role, isn't he? 19 points the margin at half-time. James Kelly, 13 possessions. Matthew Stokes, 12. Leading all comers is Bryce Gibbs with 16. Levi Casbolt has 12. So right before half-time, Carlton made a move, but Geelong countered, and Hawkins has certainly stolen the show, Tommy.
Yeah, he's been the difference, really. Carlton would love a performance like Tom Hawkins from Lockie Henderson or the like, but the game really did ebb and flow with contested possessions and tackles, which is effort. We spoke about it at the half-time break. Joel Selwood certainly lifted his output in the second half of that quarter.
Notice Jamison is out there, and we're looking at Geelong here with Joel Selwood. Leading for the front as he always does. So Jamison. Dennis mentioned Gibbs with the most disposals in the first half. His role tonight.
Well, that's been good. I mean, he's had the Selwood we mentioned just for a few minutes, 3 possessions in a short period of time, midway through the second quarter, got Geelong going, I reckon. But he's only had 7, so Gibbs has done really well in that role.
Do you like him in that role?
Absolutely. I think his best footy, Gibbs, has been when he plays on a good opposition player. He usually minimises their effectiveness, and he still gets the ball. Good offensive tagger, to use that term, I suppose.
He's got a lot of detractors, but I gather he's gold in fantasy football. Is that right, Tom?
Well, he would get a lot of the ball, absolutely. So from that point of view, this see Jamison on screen with his right calf heavily strapped. No, he's had a good game without a doubt, Bryce Gibbs. So I'd like to see, again at half-time, we spoke about the need for Carlton to provide some support to Sam Rowe and whether Jamison can not play on Hawkins but play in the area or Wait perhaps or Henderson. So we'll see Jamison actually go straight to Hawkins now, so that matchup's been altered.
Probably it looks like Thomas is out for the night, is he? That's been done?
He hasn't got the vest on.
He hasn't got the vest on.
No.
So. How does that work? Because there's a 20-minute period for the medical staff to assess. Is he concussed?
Yeah.
I think he's just asked the official how long he's got left, Lee, so I think he might be okay.
But you have the 20 minutes of half-time additional.
Well, yeah, that might need to be looked at.
Well, it seems he's on the clock, judging by that question. Knocked down by McIntosh. Gibbs in the action again. Overran the football that time after the initial hand pass. Reeled in by Murphy. McIntosh and Murphy battle. We'll have a ball up just alongside those centre circles to start this second half at Etihad Stadium. Friday night football. Such an important half as far as Carlton are concerned. Carrazzo from Warnock sends it down towards half forward, fisted forward by Armfield, who's made a good fist of the night so far. Back in the team, Henderson, slick one, Robinson, plenty of time, cool customer, sends it down towards full forward, Menzel! And well done by Casbolt, just blocking the men coming up, particularly Rivers, and ghosting across in front of those players.
It was an interpretation, that, because clearly Casbolt is stopping Rivers getting to what would be a marking contest or spoiling contest, but very hard for umpires to see that block taking place. But it's very subtle and very well done by almost all the modern players, forwards and defenders.
So Menzel with the footy after the mark. Man on the mark is about 25 metres out. This would be a dream start for Michael Malthouse and the Blues. He's normally reliable, and that's a good kick. First blood to Carlton.
Well, there you can see Tom Hawkins. The change has been made at half-time. Jamison has gone onto him, but he has got the whole 50 to himself. The one-on-one nature of this game and no loose players back. Chris Scott can sense that he can rip him apart tonight, Tommy.
So for the third time, they get the opening goal of the quarter, Carlton. Johnson out of the centre. Kelly almost. Hawkins trying to get back. Doherty did pretty well. Rowe under pressure. Hawkins, Bartel, Doherty, Bartel, Rowe getting involved. Don't think that ball's coming out and the ball up. Richo posed that question to you, Tom, about Hawkins.
Well, and the other thing Geelong have done is they've loaded their forward line with ball getters as well. So Walker's the other tall, but then you've got Kelly and Bartel that require a hard matchup, therefore making it very difficult for the Carlton defenders to zone off and help out Rowe or Jamison.
Carrazzo gave it to Murphy, off hands to Selwood, back towards full forward. Hawkins again. He did that deliberately. He laid it down into the path of Murdoch, who kicks a goal. How is that for brute strength?
When it is holding your ground and pushing into a marking contest, I mean, Hawkins just reminds me of Tony Lockett. That kind of just that bulk, that enormous bulk that opposition defenders just can't push into, like a tree trunk. He just can't be moved.
Well, he's at the height of his powers at the moment. He had a breakout All-Australian year a couple of years ago and a crook back last year. He's back to that form.
Wayne, how good can he be, do you think? I mean...
Oh, look, I think he can definitely be the best big forward in our game. And we discussed this a couple of weeks ago. When I say big forward, I'm talking 100 kilo plus. I mean, he is
staying home forward.
Yeah, he's gone past Cloak.
You think so?
Yeah.
OK. So Carrazzo out of the centre. Gets it to half forward. Casbolt, good fly. Robinson. Back to White. He's on, of course, at the moment for Thomas. Pretty good kick, actually. Got over the back. Garland off the ground. Goal! To Wait, no touch. Good stuff by Smits. Really well done. Wait thinks it's a goal. He wants them to go upstairs and play on. And, well, I like the play on.
That was Evan Smith. He was very quick to want to play on. Hall Smith, not a particularly good kick, as if Jamison with the leading player. Talking about Hawkins' strength, but that last goal he created with strength and then finesse. Hard to combat all of that. Total package tonight, certainly. Jamison towards half forward, leap from Casbolt. 12 possessions in the first half. Certainly not their worst. Very close to their best. Tries to slap it out. Backing into the pack is Hall Smith. Waiting for him, McLean. Robinson takes him the other way, the old tag team. And a ball up. Watch this again. Second one. The second one.
Straight back.
Wow.
Gee, I wish they had the review. Quick kick from McIntosh. It looks like
We'd like to watch that a few times just to get our mind around it.
Doherty ridden into the ground, free kick. It's been impressive, Doherty, hasn't it?
Since he's come into the side.
Of course, from Brisbane, he's playing his 5th consecutive match tonight. Oh, gee, that's a funny old kick. Armfield's been very good in the opening term, gets himself into a pickle there. Poor handball. Murphy, Tui, handball not good. White running on to it, has to just release it. Ball comes out, bouncing Rivers. Well done, Enright, out of play, boundary throw. Well, how do they get a second half out of Casbolt like the third there? I don't know, honestly. Does anyone know?
You'd have to watch it a few times in slow motion to really see whether it was the hand or the foot that got the ball through.
Stokes, get out of there. Duncan, hand passes about 15 metres. Dangerous spot, though. Everett tackled. Robinson worked off it by Murdoch. Hurriedly onto the boot. Here's Hawkins inside the centre square. Well, Tui, he felt like the big fella who was playing on him in the first half. That was Rowe, just brushed aside. Meanwhile, on the outer side, Holland-Smith goes down towards right half forward and Stokes. Jamison had it socket away close to the boundary line. Duncan crawls after it, can't keep it in.
Oh, gee, Hawkins' strength there again, wasn't it, Dennis? I mean, he just rode the bump.
No pun intended.
So the Blues just hanging on. They've been pretty good tonight against quality opposition. A win tonight would change their whole outlook and maybe give their season the momentum they've been desperate for. Walker running hard. Now, Yaron's quick. Does he get the right bounce? Well done, White. Got rid of Murdoch. Yaron sizes it up. Well done. Gets it inside to McLean. Kicked a goal in the opening half. He's corralled. Has to go back. Simpson. Good stuff. Now, Tui normally a good user. He's got Henderson long. He doesn't get hold of it. Bouncing ball. Chance here, though. Garlett's handball, not much on it. It was a poor handball. Hughes gets it from Smets. Bartel was a handy man. Bartel, he can be forward or back. Holland-Smith.
To Rivers, pushing up to centre-half back. And somebody to loom alongside. Comes very wide to Murdoch. Sort of on his left peg, though. He sends it up towards the wing. Lovely kick. Taylor, right at the interchange gates. Just lobs it to space. Either one of two in best position there, but Duncan couldn't take the mark. Johnson opted out, but now he'll get it. Holland-Smith gives it to him right on the numbers. Down towards Hawkins, favoured the full back, though. And getting back, Jamison. Away comes Walker to the outer side. Will it get there in time? Blixarves did well, went back. Won a hard ball. Enright the beneficiary. Wheels around. Blixarves is open. Man came at him, missed him. Now it's with Bartel. Just outside the 50, not 15. In the pocket, Walker sends it towards full forward. Ill-directed, though. Always curling away from McIntosh, and the mark was taken by Everett.
Just hanging on the Blues, aren't they, Doherty?
Just watching the Hawkins match up with Jamison, I think you're almost resigned to the fact you're not going to have a player who can wrestle with him. You see Daisy Thomas. Let's get that final check.
Oh, sorry, Tom. Just waiting, Everett. Blixarves, Doherty made the tackle. And the ball up. So Thomas back on.
Yeah, he's back. White has the vest back on. I think Thomas has probably just gone down to do a little bit of a warm-up in the room, so we'll be back into the game pretty shortly.
Can Carlton get it over the line? That's not what they'll want. Seld was lurking. Casbolt can't get it out. Handball coming out from McIntosh. Guthrie clever to Kelly. Kelly concedes to Bartel and puts him in a scoring position. They worked it well, the Cats. Just can't be flat-footed in the back half with the ball coming like that, can you?
Just see the confidence growing in Guthrie, can't you, as a player?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I talked about Holland-Smith. Guthrie's about a year and a half in front of him, you feel, don't you? I mean, they're the two that you feel are really emerging.
It's a bit of Joel Corey Enright about those two similar players. They could be half the player of those two, they'll turn out okay.
So this for the biggest lead of the match. And has he held the line? No, he hasn't. And a miss. So we talked about Bartel earlier, Lee, about accuracy. So he's had a couple of misses.
He's not proving that theory tonight, I must say. He's just at the moment not as accurate as he has been for the majority of his career.
Free kick and 50.
Okay, so you
50.
heard that. So 50 for the Blues.
50.
Now they want to move it quickly, Carlton. Geelong will get the numbers back here, so any advantage is sort of
I'm in the middle.
negated here. So there is Thomas.
Stevie, move out.
Now Simpson, but it's all that advantage you felt they had has been dried up a bit. Doherty, now Yaron. Can Yaron conjure? He goes wide. Now McLean, he's outside the range. Back. Rowe. Not great. To the pocket. And Carlton didn't do that well. They ran out of ideas in the end, didn't they?
Tried to work it through, but then as soon as you're in the centre square and you're forced wide, the defence can just slide across. So the Geelong did it well to just hem them in.
Down in front of the pack, it's taken by Duncan in the grasp. Got it away, Kelly. Nerves of steel. Well, almost. That was his intention, I think, to maybe force it behind, but make it look as if it was headed to Smets. Anyway, Smets will bring it back in. Seems to be a little confusion down on the Carlton bench. Some people eavesdropping, suggesting at halftime there were some questions asked about whether they could sub another player at halftime. Obviously, they had a man off who still had 3 minutes to run. There goes the short one from Bartel. Well, hearsay, of course. Here's Kelly inside the forward 50. Coming hard is Hawkins. Good tackle, got him down. Not before he gave it to Mackie. Mackie on the run. Bends it back. What a beautiful goal.
Well, not only is Tommy Hawkins kicking the goals tonight, he is setting them up. He's had 4 score assists, and Andrew Mackie, quality finisher. We know he's going to kick those. Dale Thomas is officially back into the game. He's gone straight down to the Blues forward line.
Can he make an impact? He kicked a goal in the opening quarter, but it's all Geelong now. They're 4 goals in front. He tried to put a tackle on Guthrie. Gets it to half forward. Hawkins, another give to Murdoch. Murdoch controlled the kick. Well done, Stokes Everett. Rowe runs it over. Boundary throw in.
I think with the Jamison-Hawkins matchup, I was talking moments ago, you can see the fact you're going to be beaten in brute strength, but Jamison at least makes the play as well. A couple of times he's intercepted the ball, which Rowe wasn't doing, but still you'd like to see third man in support to help them out.
Knocked forward by Warnock. Onto it is Stokes. Johnson. Well held tonight so far. Kelly taken high. We'll get the free kick. Just going back to our informant, hard to believe that sub Jamison because they've given him a key role in the second half. He's down there in the goal square as we speak, watching Hawkins. Here's Kelly. Into Mines. Told to go, just sets it up towards the kickoff line. Walker opts out of the contest. Camped in front is Thomas. Thomas to Murphy, goes back to Tui. Or is it McLean? It's McLean out of the back pocket towards the wing. Waite with a big jump, didn't hang on. Kelly getting very busy in this term. Waite brought him down. In the back's the call.
James, you're free from the back.
Umpire only about 15 metres away, had a good view.
I thought it was the best thing Wade had done tonight, to be honest. It was a really strong tackle.
Gee,
He sort of rolled on him, but he was very, very lucky to get that, Kelly.
Here. Duncan almost.
On to the man, Zach Tui.
So Tui's just on Wayne. We talked a lot about him. Has he responded from last week or not?
Well, look, he started okay when he started down back, and then I guess about the 10-minute mark, Bruce, he's obviously gone forward and hasn't really looked like it up there. So, you know, he's one of those players that is versatile. So I think it's in their best interest to throw him around a little bit and try him in different positions to get him into the game.
So Walker got over the back. Mackie, well done. Not the only good thing he's done in this quarter. Taylor got it from Kelly. Hawkins just protected the ball beautifully. We'll probably look to give it off here.
He's within range.
Yeah, I agree. He's got the legs, but he's done the team thing and gone to the pocket. And Motlop takes the mark.
Biggest improvement in Tommy Hawkins is his movement. He just is continually on the move now, and it just makes him almost impossible to stop.
Matty, are you with Wayne that he is gone past Cloak right now. He's the best big guy in the game.
Yeah, I think as the absolute power forward right as we speak, I think you would have to say Tom is performing better.
Well, good to have those rivalries. Motlop, that kick just fading. Ball still in. And Yaron to try and run it out.
One bounce up towards the 50. Well done, Yaron. Little 1-2 there with Everett, but ran out of space. The numbers coming to meet him too great. Couple of Geelong players. Boundary throw-in. McIntosh is there. Warnock just coming belatedly, working in front, but McIntosh knocks it forward, intended for Johnson, stolen away by Simpson. Around the corner it comes to Everett. McLean, forward of half back, beyond the wing with a kick. Brilliant gather by Thomas. Turned his defender inside out. Loops it over Rivers to Menzel. Menzel kicks inside the forward 50. Henderson, well, half chance there, still going. Henderson about 40 metres out from goal to Gibbs. I doubt he'll miss, and he puts it through. His second goal, he's having a big night.
Yeah, exactly, Tom. I thought early in the game when they really ran and took it on and they had a lot of bounces in that first half, they kicked goals easily, and that's exactly what they did there. I thought start of this quarter they were a bit stagnant, but that's what they have to do.
Big thump from Warnock. Thomas trying to inject something here. Carlton trying to get it forward. Robinson, well done. He stayed underneath it. Carazzo can't quite in right. Tried to pick it off. Warnock conceded some ground. Armfield and Stokes, good mark. Armfield had a terrific opening turn. The opposite numbers. So one next goal massive here, isn't it? I mean, you feel like Geelong completely in control if they get it. If not, really game on. Doherty. And Carlton have got some purpose here. Everett. Simpson, a left footer, so he's going to bring the ball back in, you know that. So Gibbs multiple goals for the first time since round 1 this year. That's a beautiful, well, I thought it was a good kick from Menzel or Thomas, and none of them went. Gee, Taylor, that was a sloppy old handball and out of play.
Got away with one there, Geelong. The ball movement, which is too slow there by Carlton. Harry ended up intercepting the ball, but if it wasn't going to be Harry, it would have been Enright or Hamish McIntosh. So, like Wayne said moments ago, put speed on the game and get the ball in quickly as possible, one-on-one.
Margin was 19 at half-time. It's 18 currently. Backhanded down by McIntosh. Standing his ground, doing well was Murphy. Scrambles a kick forward, coming up to meet it Taylor. Taylor drops it on that left boot, and the good mark is taken by Stokes. Stokes thinks about a give-off. Now he goes. He kicks down towards half-forward, almost leading the man back there. Duncan went to the congested, goes and finds the football again. That was a dangerous kick for him. He was a little uncertain who it was intended for. Johnson's hand pass ditto. Taken by Robinson, spins out of trouble, goes to Murphy. Murphy to Walker. Walker comes out wide. Doherty. He takes off Doherty. In pursuit is Selwood. Doherty goes down towards half-forward. Menzel. Oh, good pair of hands. He'll wheel around on his left foot. Casbolt is going back. It goes in that direction. Slipped over. Still a live ball. Thomas gets his second. Wow. What an exchange.
Kicked the ball really well inside forward 50, Troy Menzel. It's a bit of a chaos ball there, and obviously when that happens, puts defenders right on edge. So they got that goal they needed. Carlton right back in this.
So Daisy gets 2 for the first time in the double Blues. So the Blues are making some inroads here. A 2-goal game. Good challenge coming up now. Yaron, can he straighten up? He's run towards the boundary. Left foot, look good. Great mark again. Well, Menzel really has become a target.
And this is a big test for Billy Smets. He's a highly talented first-round pick for Geelong against a highly talented first-round pick for Carlton. And if he's going to have a career as a defender, he needs to be able to play on these sorts of players and do a job.
God, he's smooth, Yaron, when you see him like that, isn't he? I mean, that's just fantastic.
He always looks like he's got an extra gear. He always looks like he's running quick, but he's only going third and three-quarter pace. And,
just fast enough, I reckon.
Always looks like he's in control and really well balanced at least.
Usain Bolt looks like that, I reckon, don't you? Well, always looks like he's got an extra gear.
Guys who go quick always look like they're doing it easy, don't they?
Well, this is a tough kick for a left footer. This would be something. Carlton challenging. Good kick. Really good kick. They're back within a goal.
Great temperament here from Troy Menzel. He's been really big the last 5 or 10 minutes, using the ball, driving the inside forward 50, on this occasion getting on the end of it. Blues 3 in a row now.
That's right. 5 minutes ago, Geelong led by 24 points. Out of Elwood. Trying to put that back on the board. He drives down towards half forward, thumped away by Everett. Chance for McLean at close quarters to Robinson. Under pressure comes to Walker, flings it back towards McLean. McLean goes down towards half forward. Up in front, Henderson. Crashing the pack is Enright. Missed the footy. Finds it again. Wonderful control. Rivers across to Taylor. Taylor sends it down towards half forward. Stokes. Clean hands. He'll wheel around, look up, and nobody's there. Goes short to Kelly. Not 15. Ran into a dead end. Simpson got him, holding the football. Everything is falling into place now for the Blues. Chris Scott showing some emotion there. He senses it too. This game has turned on its head. McLean takes the mark at right half back. 79 plays, 73. McLean goes very short to Murphy. He thought about going over the top, hesitates, stops.
Yeah, the angle it was weight that he wanted to go to.
He's not getting much of the ball on Guthrie Murphy, but geez, running hard. I've really been trying to watch him tonight. Had an interview with him yesterday. He's really working hard.
And there's a good case, Lee.
Yeah, no, he's not getting much reward for his running at the moment, but if he just keeps running, keeps pushing to space, he'll get involved in that link-up game that Carlton needed to play.
So Stokes cut about the head there, so watch this here.
Gee, this was as brave as you'll see, Stokes. He's got it opened up on the back of his head, but he put his head over the line then.
Gee, Menzel, Matty Menzel's impact has been enormous, hasn't it?
Yeah, he has. When Carlton get those smaller guys inside 50 buzzing around, Thomas coming back onto the ground has helped. Garlett's down there. Menzel, it looks dangerous. Yaron's down there.
And Richard, that's what you talked about in the countdown tonight, wasn't it?
Well, it's the opposite. At the other end, it's all about Hawkins, and the Carlton small forwards can cause the trouble.
And here's Yaron with a chance. He worked Enright. Still Yaron. Poor handball. Walker, Enright, Walker, and Geelong win a really important ball. Just a terrible handball by the Cats, by the Blues, and now Hawkins to set it up.
Murdoch across to Motlop. Enright terrific there, forcing Yaron back on his right foot. Meantime, that was a bad kick coming across the ground. Kick inside the forward 50. Yaron put Bartell down, and Henderson kicked into Taylor. Enright deflects it across to Taylor. Under pressure down there is Lonergan. Deep trouble. Thomas has got it. Thomas with the left foot. Hooks and bounces it through. He's got 3. What a comeback.
He's off the ground for 47 minutes, Lee, with a half-time break, Thomas.
He should be feeling fresh, but he really has had an impact in this third quarter.
Richo's magic 100 numbers is going to come into play here, I reckon.
The 100 point?
Yep.
Yeah, well, when Geelong kick 100 points, they win 43 out of 46 on this ground, but when they don't, I think it's 8 out of 32, so interesting stuff. Murphy running hard. Gee, Carlton have been superb. Kicks to the pocket. Robinson went very, very early. Enright, tackled. Robinson got it off him. Doherty, well played, Haaland Smith. Kelly, caught up. Gibbs just misses, so he's got a couple. But Carlton get their nose in front. They're not going to fit in. They're not going to go away now. You feel like they might be here for the night.
Eddie plays 79, short one to the pocket. Henry Taylor. What a transformation, as I mentioned about 10 minutes ago now. The Cats by 24. It's been all Carlton since. And this defence is under real pressure. Another error. Yaron outside the 50, assesses the options. That wasn't one of them, but across to Casbolt. Over the football is Selwood. He needs to fire now. Feeds it back. Blixarves. Sweeping hand pass taken by Duncan. Releases Hawkins. Goes to midfield. Johnson. What about giving it off? Out towards right centre wing. That's an interesting kick. Not his best effort. It was intended for Duncan, but Jamison came up and cut it out. Good defensive work, and he spots a man surrounded by 3 Cats. Casbolt takes the mark.
Which means there's going to be 3 Blues somewhere else, and he needs to find them here. Levi Casbolt.
It's a bit of an up and under, but it's got some legs, that kick in the end. Wait, can't quite. Ball coming to ground. Carazzo and Mackie. Carazzo, Thomas, lovely little handball. Waits had a quiet night. Can he do something here? Slow handball. Doherty. Little left footer, not 15. Now Gibbs has got a bit on this. That's strong and of behind. Tell you what, I just saw Yaron a moment ago. It was a terrible... He's just not fit enough. He's absolutely
exhausted now. Right at this moment, for this next minute or so, he's absolutely needs the petrol tickets.
His second efforts were not good enough a moment ago.
3 metres, 2 now.
Yeah, there's a few players out on their legs. I mean, that's been the one thing that's held Yaron back more than anything else, his ability to spend big minutes through the middle of the ground.
I reckon this game's going to be won with the clearances because it's a one-on-one game forward of the footy. If you win the clearances, you have a huge advantage, and that's the trend of the game so far.
Lining in a high ball marked by Rowe.
That's worked well. Jamison on to Hawkins, and Rowe has actually become a pretty good player as a more halfback.
Yeah, and Jamison makes the play, doesn't he? He can win his own ball and reads the ball well and frees up Rowe. Double win.
Here he is again. Comes to Everett this time, Jamison. Unfortunately for Yaron too, the ball has been in that half for the last 10 minutes. No chance to take a breath. No chance really to interchange. There's McLean. Just got to be fitter. Easy to say from up here wearing makeup. There goes the ball up towards the wing. Knocked away by Gibbs. Taken by Murphy. Looks inside. Nice one, Carranzo. Waits for Murphy to cruise past. Murphy goes in short to the man we speak of, Yaron, right on the siren. What a comeback by Carlton. What a comeback by Daisy Thomas. At three-quarter time, the Blues lead it by 2 on Friday Night Football. A lot to look forward to, a season on the line for that man and his Carlton side. It's 12-9, 12-7.
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium, and it's the Blues by 2 points over the Cats at three-quarter time. It is an absolute cracking contest, Wayne Carey, and gee, the Blues look a better team when they just get up and running.
Yeah, you'd have to say that's the best quarter of footy they've played all year. I mean, against quality opposition, they looked down and out. I thought at the first part of that quarter they looked stagnant, but then all of a sudden the run came back from that first half and they started to run, carry the ball, and when they play on through the middle of the ground and on half forward and get it in there quickly, they just score quickly. Yeah. But the clearances, Matty, have been so important in this game.
Been a real key tonight. Carlton won the clearances in the first quarter. They win the quarter. The Cats then won the clearances in that second quarter. They win the quarter, and then the Blues did it again this quarter. Now, I think it's because it's a one-on-one game forward of the footy. So if you can win the clearance and get it forward, you've got a really good chance of winning the football. But you sense, Duck, that the Geelong leaders have still got something to give.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when you look at their leaders, you look at Selwood, you look at Bartel, you look at Kelly, you look at all of those guys, and you just think that they've got a little bit more fight in them. So I think it'll go down to the wire, but I don't know, I'm leaning towards the Cats.
All right, to you, Bruce.
Thanks, Matty. Wayne, you've sort of answered one question. Matthew, what about you in a word? Who do you think will win?
Oh, look, I think I'll stick with the Cats, but if the Blues can win the clearances, they'll win the game.
Lee?
Well, Carlton are going better, but don't go against Geelong in a close game, so I'll stick with them.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm with Geelong also, but Richo summed up the game perfectly. It's contested possessions, tackles and clearances. Good old-fashioned one-on-one footy from seemingly a bygone era.
I tell you what, catastrophic if Geelong lost from here. 4 goals in front halfway through a third quarter.
Yeah. But it hasn't been like a Geelong-like performance tonight. We wondered how they'd come off last week. They started as if they were shell-shocked as opposed to motivated and savage. And they've worked their way into the game, but it hasn't been the Geelong excellence that we have seen so often over the previous number of years.
They were on the ropes. Three-quarter time came at a good time as far as the Cats were concerned. Wide of the pack, Carranzo through the legs of Robinson, knocked forward there by McIntosh, found the footy, heard a voice, gives it out to Johnson. Johnson taken high. Advantage is taken. Selwood to Kelly. Why not move it quickly when the big man is down there? Well done, Jamison, though. Reaching over the top, got a fist on it, knocked it out of bounds. As we start this final term with the Blues up by 2 at the 16-minute mark of the third term, Geelong led by 24.
When you see that bit of footage, you do question why that matchup hasn't been.
It wasn't there all night.
Yeah. It was a brilliant spoil, wasn't it? But they've rolled the dice a bit, the Blues, tonight, and it might all work out. Everett got it from Simpson. Bartel running into Doherty, free kick to the Blues. The bounce important here. Gibbs has been terrific. 22nd disposal, 2 goals. Telling kick. Walker's got it. Wow. They've kicked the opening goal in each of the quarters, Carlton. They've been fast starters. And that transition has been a highlight of their game at times tonight. In fact, I remember one occasion when Walker did it in the second quarter and they got the ball quickly forward. Well, and another massive set shot here. He hasn't kicked a goal this year. He was, gee, I'm trying to think. He was a leading goal kicker at the club, wasn't he, about 3 or 4 years ago? I think he kicked over 50 goals in a season, but not a goal this year. Probably hasn't had a shot this year. This would be big.
Looked like it was online, but just well, he's been playing down defence for most of this season, so he looks like though he's been given a run up forward. Thought pre-game he may be one of those moves you make to alter things that aren't working.
Oh dear. Always a little pedantic, this one.
They generally call it when it's obvious, and often players don't remonstrate too much.
Was he on the angle? He was coming straight up the ground though, wasn't he? So it must be the kickoff line running parallel with the goal line, I would have thought.
Warnock's not bad in these forward days over the line. The height, can he get it to a Carlton moving player?
Big penalty, always has been, of course. McIntosh, Mackie surrounded. Mackie reluctant to pick it up. The umpire just lets them fossick. But eventually will go in and ball it up. Gutsy advantage taken by Doherty moments ago. Bruce called it on the outer side. Just picked the ball up and flung it out to Gibbs. Run down by McIntosh. Well done by Mackie to Enright. Sends it towards the outer side. Bounces on its point. Taken by Murdoch. Fires it hard back at Stringer. He ran into a dead end.
The safe footy's not going to win it for Carlton. They have to identify that when they've played their best footy tonight, it's been attacking footy, it's taking risks, it's playing on almost at all costs. They need to ensure they do that this quarter.
Richo, is it Buse that's off?
Yeah, Buse is out of the game. Jesse Stringer, they did that at three-quarter time.
So Geelong have made their sub, and of course, quite famously now, Carlton have made a sub earlier tonight and then brought Daisy back after the 20-minute rule. He was actually off for 47 minutes, Thomas, but White only on for the 20. And came back and kicked 2 goals to add to his one in the first. There is Stringer having an impact with a kick away. Jamison and Hawkins. Hawkins has just been so constructive tonight. And with those 4 second-quarter goals, Motlop, Stringer, not a good handball by Motlop, Tui, Simpson. Walker's been good. Jamison, didn't think he'd come back after half-time. Lucky he has. Oh, Robinson, that's a poor drop. Gibbs, so good tonight, misses the target. Enright, Garlett, boundary throw in. So Carlton right now really putting the pressure on. There's Buse, Blitzarf's with him. The Blues wanting that opening goal of the last term.
The Cats haven't scored for 22 minutes. Anything. Boundary throw in. Now boys are picking them. Carazzo deep in the pocket. Doherty snaps and misses.
More time, didn't
Got all the edge in the game. They're looking quick. You know, Geelong, certainly the Swans made Geelong look slow, and at the moment when the ball is in motion, Carlton are doing the same.
At the start of the game, Carlton didn't put them away with the early goals, and the start of this last quarter certainly looked like the start of the first.
Last 4 scores, 4 behinds for Carlton.
There you go.
Here's Taylor. Short, just talking about selecting them to win at three-quarter time. I think they think like experts do, the players themselves. Sometimes they think it will just fall into place. Well, it's not falling into place at the moment. They could be falling down the ladder.
And conversely, Dan, Carlton need to have that self-belief that the game's there to be won and they need to win it as opposed to just waiting for Geelong to come.
Simon White has the vest off again, guys. Who do you think the sub will be?
We'll ask the questions, Richo.
Sorry, Dan.
That's okay. Hall of Fame and all.
Question without notice.
Here comes the ball out towards the wing from Everett. Big leap by Selwood. That was terrible judgment. Coming away is Doherty. He's been good. With pace, goes to the pocket. Oh, Garlett missed it. Thomas has been dangerous. Turns around. Mackie was waiting for him. Took him to the ground. Appealing is Kelly. And the umpire will ball it up.
He fumbled on early in the game, Garland. When you're under the ball like that, you've almost got to go towards the contact. And if you get the contact, you'll get an automatic free kick. But he tends to be just flinching from the contact a little there.
The best kick to Carlton, the forward line's the one over the back when he can run onto it, isn't it?
Not the one where he's caught under the footy.
Flinchy. I like that.
Yeah, well, just you sort of, flinchy is the right word. I'll go with that word.
When he flinches.
Anyway, Carlton are pressing, aren't they? But they haven't been able to do any damage on the scoreboard. And you feel like Geelong will react. But when? Carazzo, Stokes, so good. Johnson, not so good, but could do something here. Hall and Smith with a high ball. Hard to mark. Now hard to control. Walker, well done to Blitzard. To Stokes, terrific tackle. Well, isn't that incorrect disposal? Now Bartel, lovely looking kick to Murdoch, got him, not quite. Now Yaron
pitched it.
Well, he pickpocketed him. What did I say about Yaron? Geez, a good player. Well, lovely kick.
He's had a break there, Bruce. Henderson kicks it wide. Here's a chance for McLean. Tracks it inside the 50. Will it sit for him? No, it won't. Boundary throw in. 4 points the difference. Well, he took a step, one would assume. Incorrect disposal. That's terrific by Yaron. Just dictating in that contest. Blixarves goes up with Warnock. Warnock knocks it down. Simpson knocks it on. Carazzo follows it. Nothing doing. So Simon White waiting to come on.
I would have thought Sam Rowe probably, but he's actually had a pretty good third quarter, Rowe, so it'll be interesting to see who this interchange is. Or the substitute.
Well, that's why Richo asked Darcy. No idea. Neither have we.
We're none the wiser.
For 5 minutes.
So have I.
Kelly. Stokes. And then Stokes, good kick to Taylor. Now the left footer, so he decides to go the handball. Smets running hard, takes it upon himself. Not good.
That's the move just there. Jamison just reads the play better as a defender than Sam Rowe does. So that would be his third intercept mark there, Jamison. It's been a win for Carlton, that swap.
Lee, would they think of Warnock? I mean, would you think of the big guy or?
Oh, no, I don't think so, because I think he's the main ruckman. Casbolt can fill in a bit, but I doubt if they'll go that.
Okay.
But we'll find out shortly.
Murphy running on to it now. He's looking to Carazzo. Now Gibbs out wide. Little kick. Gibbs takes the mark. Should go back and have a shot. Has to go back.
I've been impressed with Mark Murphy tonight. Guthrie had him, but Murphy's kept running. Had
Jared Waitley, sorry, Jared
Waite is the one who's well, he hasn't been in the play. But Murphy's kept running at 10 positions in the third quarter. He's been just to work your way through when you're down and out under the tag. That's been a great night for Murphy.
And when we talk about Murphy, we often talk about Gibbs, you know, the other number one. Now, his night tonight's been huge, and that he goes to best on ground nearly if he kicks this goal, I reckon, right now. Well, he's kicked three. Put him in there, Wayne.
He's in, Bruce.
Bryce Gibbs has been terrific. First time he's booted three since the elimination final of 2011 against the Bombers. They needed him tonight in those goals. Inside the centre square now. And a big job for Geelong right here. Scoreless, just becalmed at the moment. Down goes Selwood, strong tackle. They're playing with great panache. Gibbs again, got it from McLean, kicks it down towards half forward. Leading in the race is Simpson. Natural left footer. Shouldn't have bought that dummy stringer. He sends it long towards the middle. Getting back is Blixarves, and he takes the mark.
Don't go forward.
Well, one thing you should know if you're chasing Cade Simpson is what he's likely to do. Doesn't mean you can stop him, but it gives you a rough chance. Guthrie gets it from Motlop. It's all back to the wall stuff at the moment as far as Geelong are concerned. Guthrie, though, has had a very good night. Out of defence, it's been an enthralling duel, that one, with Guthrie and Murphy in front of the pack. Here's a chance for Everett. Finds the footy, finds a way out, slips a hand pass away. Here's Murphy, spots a man on the move. Rowe, and he hangs on. Oh, what a big kick is coming up here.
Well, three-quarter time you asked. I mean, Geelong just don't lose close games, but this game is just slipping away. Really, the last 20 minutes by Carlton, they've just dominated it.
They've kicked 5-4 to nothing in the last 28 minutes, Carlton.
Could have really put the game away at the start of the last quarter.
If he gets this goal, it will be their biggest lead of the night. They had some good times earlier tonight, in that second term particularly, early on. And now, Rowe. Started in defence, was manhandled on occasions, but kept on coming. This one is out to the right. It's working back. I think he's kicked it at both ends. He's made a contribution.
Would you change your tip now, Lee?
I would change the tip now, I would think, because Carlton are just running all over the top of Geelong, and you look at your Selwoods and your Kellys and your Johnsons, Bartells. They're the players that normally come to the fore in these situations. Can they do it again tonight?
Well, you feel like it's a watershed moment for the Cats here for the season. I mean, they need to respond. Kelly did well. Duncan out of the centre. Good kick. Miss mark from Murdoch. Gets a second chance. And goals. It's exactly what they needed.
Good butter-up effort here from Jordan Murdoch. Should have taken the first mark, but had the poise to finish. And a real mind game now for these two clubs.
Importantly, two new generation players, Tom. Murdoch and Walker combined for the goal.
Margin back to 10. Burrowing in is Gibbs. Ball by Selwood. The umpire.
We said in the pre-game that the games that Geelong have lost, their senior players either haven't played or haven't played well. Now that's been the case again tonight. So the next tier, if you like, have to really step up.
Casbolt. Still going, Casbolt. Well done. And again, sweeping hand pass into the path of Gibbs. Does nicely. Irresistible football at the moment. Inside the forward 50. Hitting the pack hard down there was Henderson. Slow to get up is Duncan. He can only get up and look at a man snapping towards goal. That's Garlett. But it ricochets off Hall and Smith. And goes through for a minor score. 11 points the difference. Wonderful courage there by Duncan, turning around to follow that football, and he met a big body. Here's Motlop.
He's fantastic. Motlop, funny old kick again to Rivers off a step. Gee, big one-on-one here. Well played by Simpson. Looking for free. Simpson was appealing there from the back, and the ball up. So these clearances are vital. They missed a chance here, the Blues. Look at the courage from Duncan here. That's just enormous. Guthrie's quick give. Geelong, you feel like they're responding. Selwood dug it out. Bartel clever from Duncan. Hall and Smith on the left foot. Haven't seen a lot of Hawkins for a while. Ball hasn't been down there too often. White coughs it up. Stokes. Mackie. Still Mackie. He's got a good leg, Mackie. He's kicked one tonight. Ooh. And you feel like now Geelong makes its move. Big test now for the Blues.
Everett to himself. Runs to the pocket nonchalantly. And drives it long. Just short of the wing. Thomas. That's okay, says the umpire. Just nudging Duncan under the football. Sometimes we're dulled to collisions in this game. I don't think people realise how violent that meeting was between Duncan and Henderson. We see it so often. Courage from these players. Comes back to Rowe. Two to choose over here. Well done by Stevie Johnson. Got between them. It made for muddled thinking, and as a result, they can delay the play. They had two guys on. He was equidistant from both and hustled back to the second one to close Doherty down. Doherty, the high ball to the wing then. In from the side, McIntosh to mark that. Opportunity here for Robinson. Taken in the tackle by Guthrie. Guthrie did well. Stifled the McLean hand pass. It comes across from Stringer. Kelly gave it to Smets. Smets inside the forward 50, not quite. Knocked away from Bartel. Now it's inside the 50. Johnson goes long. Walker tracks it back. Rowe is tracking him. Sweeping hand pass. How will it bounce? Beautifully for Stokes. Stokes snaps and puts through his third.
That smother just turned it, didn't it? Turned the goal probably down one end, into the goal down the other.
So Stokes with 3, Hawkins with 4, and Geelong steam back within a kick. Terrific match. Warnock goes early. Every clearance vital. Gibbs can't get it out. Kelly, ball up. She's got down and dirty tonight, Gibbs, hasn't he? It's been a real blue-collar effort from a white-collar man normally. McLean. Selwood talking about blue-collar. Back. Smets, not a good handball. Selwood worked it. Bartel got down low. Advantage. Well,
Bring it back. High.
It's interesting, that advantage call, because now it gives Carlton the opportunity to push all their players back. I reckon Geelong would rather the ball in dispute 40 metres out.
so Bartel tries to torpedo, doesn't really get it. Hard ball though. Kelly off the step. High. Now who's back there? The bounce important. The bounce very important. Oh boy. Gee, not quite Monfries at the Monfries at Footy Park, remember? But
I do. As a full brother. So Walker to bring it in. There's something about Friday night football where the upsets come out to play. To himself, Walker runs hard to the pocket. Aggressive run, sends it to the other side. 3-on-2 for the Cats out there. So a good result, off hands and out of bounds. They'll have a throw in when I say a good result. For Carlton, that is. Amazing record. We touched on that before the game. 11 of the last 14 to boot. McIntosh hooks it down behind Selwood. Did brilliantly. Stringer out of the congestion. Wonderful play by the youngster.
Numbers right up at the stoppage there, Dan, and open the space up for Tom Hawkins. Hasn't had that opportunity really since half-time.
Look at this here, though. Any ball-wing traffic, there's just no numbers behind the footy, so if you can get it out, Hawkins has got space like that.
He can jump, though. He's got a good upward extension, Hawkins, too.
Never had that athleticism last year, did he? He didn't have that athleticism last year.
I guess that sore back would have been preventing that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still up the ground when the ball came to ground. Stringer still had a bit to do, didn't he? He did very well to get out of there and then finish the job. Play on. Gee, that's a big call. Hawkins may have been touched on the mark. Don't see that too often. Simpson comes away. Didn't hear any warning. Ball comes outside the 50. Falls at the back. In goes Mackey. Mackey gives a hand pass to Stringer. Stringer with a man running across his path. It was Guthrie. Didn't help him at all. Menzel goes after the football. Trying to hack it away as Motlop. Blixards reaches in. Gibbs again. 27 possessions now. Sends it back towards midfield. Smets comes up. Takes the mark. Bartel. Why not? In safe hands. He sends it long. Stokes, the shortest man there, gave a contest. It falls to Guthrie under pressure. Got the push from White at just the right moment. But it misses to the right-hand side.
it was interesting with Hawkins, Guthrie, or Hall and Smith, I should say. Have a look at this.
It's interesting.
They only get a certain amount of time, of course, about 30 seconds, but you don't see them the play on called very often at all.
I haven't seen one this year.
No. And we marvelled at his leap, but Tom, you reminded me he was
a school high jump champion at Melbourne Grammar. I think he jumped over 1.90 metre in year 12, so lump of a lad, but enormous spring.
Hasn't got the build for a high jump, you wouldn't have thought, would you?
No.
He's normally tall and slim.
I thought, Joni, on that kick, I thought you had, once you started your run-up, it didn't matter. He called play on once he'd already started the run-up.
Perverse.
Guthrie so good. Duncan with a chance to put Geelong in front. Where's Hawkins? The bounce of the ball. Jamison, Hawkins. Hawkins cleverly tapping back. Lonigan going forward. On the up, Kelly will try and ride it. Hooks it back. Rowe should mark. And he does. Yeah, behind would have been interesting there. They're all interesting now. So Carlton have got to score again. I mean, they can't sit on it. We know that. They must kick at least one more goal to win this match, and they've got it at the wrong end.
Row out of defence then. High ball. In from the side, Rivers, too easy. Man on in the pocket, spots Lonigan, goes to him now. Lonigan, of course, has played forward. That could be... Finish the sentence, Bruce.
Time back on.
50.
Well, he put a mid in there, didn't he?
Oh,
Well, it could have been.
That's what we're doing now.
Let's have a look at this.
Finishing each other's sentences. It's not good.
Yeah, could have been. Could have been if it was officious, the umpire. I think he just let it go, to be honest. Try and draw one, why not?
Well, you'd want one of the two, wouldn't you? The play on call the other side of this one if you're Geelong. Lonigan's kick. Not bad. Just goes too far behind. Draw's not out of the question. 5 minutes, a little bit less to play. 4 points the difference, or rather 1 point the difference.
On the big screen before the game, it was a game between Geelong and Carlton from a long time ago where Peter Riccardi kicked the winning goal after the game.
Well, that was the beginning of the sequence, the 11 straight in Etihad. That was the first of the 11, Tom. So, yeah, that was a remarkable night. So Thomas has been very good. They've got to be offensive here, though, the Blues. Robinson looking for 50, not there. So Geelong had their chance. They've kicked 3 consecutive behinds. Simpson the target. Henderson, quiet night. Kicks to half forward. McLean. Smets goes to ground. Armfield and Simpson. Simpson thinking his way through. Johnson, well done, Gibbs. Enright held up. And Carlton getting the ball almost out. Carazzo, Gibbs getting back. Gibbs taking it upon himself. Well, he hasn't had a better night than this ever, I reckon.
Boy, that is a great finish. He summed that up so well. He was looking to give it off to someone. There was no one there. Kicking the ball across the body over the shoulder from probably 40 metres is a tough kick.
I just love the fact that he's taken responsibility tonight in these situations, Lee.
No, his role on Selwood, what he's done, and what Selwood's done conversely, it's been just a great matchup for Carlton.
And the effort before that, Bruce, he was the one who actually affected the spoil on Steve Johnson when Geelong could have potentially got the ball out.
Equals his career high. Wayne, if you're one of the Geelong champions now, I mean, how important is it to get your hand on the ball?
Oh, and you've got Joel Selwood in there. You've got Motlop in there also, and you just can almost back that Selwood will get near this.
Plenty of time still. Motlop runs onto the football, taken to ground. Doherty could have been taken high, tries to slap it out of there. Free kicks generally hard to find tonight. Only 19 of them. With the ball up, down towards half forward for the Cats. 3:35, clock stops, 102.95. What a wonderful goal by Gibbs. 28 possessions now, 4 goals. One of his finest games for Carlton. Will it lead them to victory? Stokes lays it off. Rivers drives it in. High ball. Going back out there is Walker, outmaneuvered by Rowe. That was a big one-on-one. And Rowe, who's had his moments tonight, good and bad, did well. Sends it towards the boundary. Andor White. Murdoch goes with him. Coming across their bow is Henderson. It'll be a boundary throw-in.
Showed some really great maturity, Rowe, hasn't he? Had a horror first half on a very difficult opponent, but he's come back and marked the ball forward and then marked the ball back. That's a really good response from a young developing player.
Lee, can a coach influence from here? We just saw Scotty and Mickey.
Well, with 3 minutes to go, there's not a whole lot the coach could do. I wouldn't have thought you're something of a spectator in this last few minutes. There's nothing obvious, I don't think, in terms of changing positioning or any of that ilk.
Well, Mark Murphy spoke to you, Lee, and said that part of his role is an extension of Mick Malthouse, so it's over to him and his fellow leaders out there.
Blitzer drops it down. Tui getting back. Johnson was lurking. Hanging on to him. Nothing there. Good tackle on Stringer. Stringer battling away. Henderson goes to ground. Armfield important early. Robinson bashing in. Ball at the back. Enright. Garland. Gee, if Carlton can break here, they couldn't. Enright off the step. Hawkins in a one-on-one. He's good at this. Taps it back for Guthrie. We know how quick he is. Boundary throw in. Edge of the seat stuff.
It's been good, Jamison, hasn't it?
2-on-1, and Jamison ended up getting an out of bounds.
Well, Hawkins and Guthrie just not quite on the same page, were they?
No, he was able to farm it out there, Hawkins, but
idea was right.
Guthrie's not there.
Yeah, missed him. Blixarve knocks it down. Stokes didn't have the footy. Trying to get out of there. Motlop, a terrific tackle by Murphy, got him down. And the umpire will ball it up. Still 7 points, just over 2 minutes now.
They're clearing out the front, the goal side of the contest here pretty well, Geelong, to try and get someone on the move through there.
Blixarves backhands it down. Guthrie had it, lost it, fell at his feet. McLean, hand passes wide. Johnson flicks it across to Stringer. Stringer sends it down towards full forward. Working in front, slapping it away was Jamison. Holland-Smith. He's got 2. Both of them good.
There's a 100-point margin.
He's played that well, Jamison. I mean, I think the way he's played Hawks is don't get into the body pushing sharp because Hawks is too strong. He's worked his way to the footy, spoiled on most occasions. His job in the second half against a guy who was really hot and been exceptional.
Yeah, he hasn't conceded the fact that
one question to the runner, either team. What would you be thinking here?
Well, it's 1 point, really. 1 point with 2 minutes to go, so Carlton just can't really hold on to it. They got the lead. They can be a little bit more conservative and go wide.
What a game. What a finish. And the stakes are so high for both teams. Every clearance critical. McLean Murphy's had a good night. Just couldn't quite. Tui. Guthrie almost got him. Robinson runs into a bit of a wall. Yaron back to Doherty. Doherty has to find a target. Poor kick. Blitzards inside. Stringer's been pretty good. Goes down the line. Jamison comes off his man. Well done, Jamison.
Gee, he had love another look at this. He somehow got from behind to the front. Maybe used a fair bit of jumper to get there, wasn't he?
Lucky to get away with that, Jamison. He moved him out of the road. Can't do that.
Boundary throw in. Warnock in front, wins it down. Guthrie's over the football. Selwood, thanks to Guthrie, comes away. And the kick is good. Geelong in front. Oh, what a heartbreaker for the Blues, but there still is enough time.
Should we be surprised? Geelong a point down late in the game. Selwood comes out of a pack and kicks a goal.
No, we shouldn't leave.
Stays goal side the whole time. There was Brock McLean would love that stoppage again just to get goal side of Selwood. Just watch him here. He wills himself to the contest. Obviously called for it.
Can't great players turn a quiet night into a big night in one kick, eh?
Carlton really haven't got that defensive sweeper in place at the stoppages well enough because Geelong have been opening up the front of the stoppage for most of the night and they've got advantage a few times.
How pumped was Scotty then? I mean, that was an incredible reaction. So can the Blues, have they got one more roll of the dice? Maybe. Murphy's been very good. Enright had it stripped. Gibbs brilliant. Simpson run down. Was he pushed in the back? No. Every ball important. Johnson, that big body, can't quite break it. Robinson taken down. Umpire's not going to blow the whistle now. Selwood on the up. Ball still not out. Robinson gets it out. Garland goes for goal. Bartell's back there. Oh, Carlton have got a chance though. It's a grandstand finish.
Because he puts himself in the right position all the time, Jimmy Bartell, doesn't he? Just has to
out of bounce was better for Carlton than the behind. Gives them a chance here to score a goal from the stoppage.
That's my 5 points.
Something up.
Boundary throw in. In front, Warnock. Blitzards over the top. The runner hit the pack hard. Didn't get the footy though. Simpson. Dangerous ball. Was that high on Menzel? Play on's the call. And the umpire will move in and ball it up. A wall of players. Perhaps not giving the umpire the best of views. 15 metres out. Carlton needing a goal, maybe to keep their season alive. Rucks go at it, falls at their feet. Johnson goes in. Missing it was Tui. Opportunity for Selwood. He's claimed by Doherty. Trying to move it forward is Robinson. Head down, he's headed for the goal line. He's tackled by Guthrie, who stood him up, as they'd say. 13 seconds to play. And the ball up.
One more stoppage.
So it's all on this one now. Nothing remains after this one. Gibbs goes to ground. Ball can't quite get out. Still not out. Still not out. Umpire just letting it go. Won't blow the whistle.
Oh, trapped.
And I reckon...
I think it's over.
Yep, I reckon the siren is about to sound and Geelong have escaped. What a night. The Cats win. And probably buried the Blues. Selwood, eh?
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played, and all more far away. Our banners fly high from north to north, down at Cardinia Park.
Matthew, down to you with the Geelong captain.
Well, Joel, it certainly is. It's just a fine line between pleasure and pain, and that sums up that game. I reckon the Carlton boys at Bladder's attack, and you guys had to fight it right out.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably lucky in the end. What we did probably in the second quarter is how we want to play, and then we just went away from it a little bit and let them back in the game.
It was a real... around the clearances tonight, I think it was so important to win those because it was one-on-one sport of the footy. Is that how you felt it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both sides look quite dangerous going forward. The big fella during the second quarter was really important for us. But, yeah, I mean, we just couldn't slow them down at times. It's a really quick deck, what's Etihad Stadium, when you can get a hold of the ball.
What is it about you guys, and particularly yourself? It probably wasn't your best night personally, but you just sensed the moment, a huge goal there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not having a great night, you don't have to have a really bad night. And the game wasn't over, and we knew there was still a bit of time on the clock, and the way the boys rallied at the end was really important.
You had to soak up a bit of pressure here, 3 or 4 stoppages at the end, a pretty nervous time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the boys did well. I mean, we haven't been in a situation like that for a while, so I mean, it'll be good going forward for us.
How was it this week? You haven't been in that situation very often in your career. You just would have wanted this game to come around.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we're probably ready to play about 3 days ago, and just, I mean, it was tough last week, but we had to move on pretty quick because we were playing Friday night. And I'm just, proud of the boys tonight. I mean, we were really, it was a challenge to get over last week and to come into this week.
Well done.
Well done, you Hall of Famer too.
Oh, thanks, mate. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Lovely stuff,
Thanks,
Joel. Well done, Richard. Tom, you've got something here at the end of the match?
I mean, the game was really hot at the end, obviously. Repeat stoppages inside the forward 50, and there was a bit of a run-in. Hopefully we'll get a look at it here. Mitch Robinson getting involved and getting in
Saying to Nigel Lappin, get out of my way.
Yep. So I'm not sure that's a bit
I've never seen AFL footy look more like a rugby union match in the last 30 seconds. And there were free kicks there, and they weren't paid. I'm not saying that. I mean, Menzel was taken high, and there were other ones, but it was a wrong. Look, Carlton buried in a way 4 and 7, but they took a step forward tonight. That was a much better performance tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not sure Geelong is second tonight, but quite frankly, they're not a top 4 team from what we've seen in the last month.
No, certainly tonight. I mean, I don't think Carlton will let Carlton to 4-7. It's going to be hard for them to play finals, but they were just a moment or two from winning the game.
Down to you, Matthew.
James, how was that last minute down here? You were just saying how nervous you were. How many 4 or 5 stoppages in a row there?
Yeah, real nervous, mate. Obviously, we just wanted to get a body and make sure there was no free players. And to the boys' credit, we sort of kept it alive enough, but not in space. So, we practiced out of training and it worked pretty well.
The umpires are really loath to blow the whistle in that situation. Just kept going. It's like a rugby scrum.
Yeah, it was. It was probably maybe a free kick to Menzel. It might have been there if it wasn't so close, but that's the way you want the game played. You want them to let it go a little bit in big moments.
And you would have enjoyed the game tonight. It was a real stoppage-type game. If you won the clearances and get it forward, it was pretty important.
Yeah, it really was. They isolated Hawke a fair bit, so we were happy to go there as much as we could, and he was on fire in the first half, but to their credit, they really came back at us in the second half and won a lot of the ball themselves.
What did you talk about this week after last week's loss? It was a situation you haven't been in a lot in recent times. What was the focus?
We talked a little bit about where your mind goes when the games go like that, when you're going to lose right from the first quarter. How do you sort of turn it around and what to do? And most of all, we just sort of later in the week spoke about just enjoying playing with each other and playing together and just having fun playing. Get back to that.
Well, great win. I'll let you get over there. The boys are waiting.
Cheers, Richard.
Well done, Richard. It's going to make a good umpire, James Kelly, I reckon. I reckon he read that situation with Menzel very well, don't you?
Yeah, he was very honest and forthright, and it was definitely a free kick.
It was very hard to see it from the elevated view. Could you imagine at ground level with the umpire with about 30 bodies? The umpire may not have got a good view of it at all, but I'm sure we'll have a look at it in a minute just to see if the Carlton fans really can bleed.
So they get to 8-3 after 11 rounds.
That's good. You get 8-3 after 11 rounds. Well, top 4 is clearly well within your sights.
But they've got to improve, I think, from what we've seen in the
way they're
month.
playing. Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
They've won the contested possession count, which has been a significant factor in their losses. Tackles were about the same, so the sort of effort statistics were on the improve, but still
Tom,
plenty to...
you had a good look at Geelong before the game. Who's the next All-Australian that hasn't been an All-Australian yet before we go to the song?
Yeah, that's a really
Geelong. That's their big issue.
I think you're right. Cam Guthrie is the one who's probably taken a step. Stevie Motlop when fit, and then Alan Christensen's the other one who's not a part of the side at the moment. So it's good for those players, and I thought Guthrie and Hall and Smith in particular were big late.
And the fact that Selwood and Johnson, they didn't really win it off the back of them all night. I mean, Selwood got their goal. So they'll sing this with a lot of heart. They needed this win tonight, and they got it. Fantastic stuff. What a night. The Cats by 5 points over the Blues. Plenty more still to come on Friday Night Football.
Take